here tonight. Special KOF shout out to the homeboys at Dream Cancel. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dream Cancel podcast, and this is episode 94 of Dream Cancel Live. My name is Desmond, administrator of DreamCancel.com. And on tonight's episode, we have a lot to talk about. We have many topics. We're gonna pretty much run down some of the tournaments that happened this month, like early this month, in the middle of this month, and we're gonna talk briefly about KOF Destiny episodes 1, 2, and 3, and we're gonna talk about the main topic. Like the big topic is pretty much the 1-year anniversary of King of Fighters 14 for PlayStation 4. This marks the day the game was released. And we're going to talk about everything regarding that, how the community has grown, how the game has grown, how you as a player has grown, all that. And then we're also going to talk about some recent statements from the director, Yasuyuki Oda, about King of Fighters maybe 15, maybe the future King of Fighters 14, and maybe speculate and talk about that. So we have a lot to go in about. If you're in the stream, get ready to share your opinion. We have a lot of people here to share opinion. I'm joined by co-host Burley Gurley here.
Hello, everybody.
Yep, tonight's co-host Burley Gurley, and let's introduce the discussion panel for tonight. We have a fair amount of people. We first and foremost want to introduce Elkie Dory. Are you here, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Can you give us a little, very brief bio? Maybe where you from? How long you been playing KOF?
Well, I'm down here in Maryland. Usually regular at Xanadu games. But that takes about an hour and a half for me to get out there. But I was like a casual player for KOF for pretty much its whole life up until this game. I was just like, let me finally buckle down and like take it serious. And so, yeah. And member of KPB, Kick Punch Block, and I just try to do them proud.
All right, great. Good to have you, man. I know you have a lot on your mind. So, yeah.
Always.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next, KCO Pedro. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you on the show as always.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we got from Indiana. We have MTG NB Mexican. Esteban, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, man.
Good to have you. And just popped in, we got Reiki Kito. Are you here?
Hey.
Cool.
Hey, everyone.
Cool. Did I say your name right?
Reiki Keto? That's me.
All right, cool. Just making sure, man. Just making sure.
No problem.
And last but not least, we have we got the power team. Yo, we have we got Erica and we have Alex K Dash and with Berica KOF. Is that your tag?
MTG Verica as of right now.
Oh, so you and Esteban are on the same team, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Now it all comes together. Cool. All right, good to have you, Erica. And how you doing, Alec?
Doing great. Doing good. How's it going?
It's going good. Alex X K Dash for everyone that plays online. You probably ran across this dude a couple times. Or maybe like O2
I've been playing, not lately, online. Still waiting on good internet in my part, but yeah, you probably played. I've actually been playing more offline
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah. Did you have different internet like when we were playing O2UM a lot, or was it still the same?
I used to go to a friend's house, and that's where I would play against you. That's where I would join the tournaments.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, good to have all y'all on the show tonight. If anyone's watching, please, if you could, share the link. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on MySpace if you're still using it. Just let people know that we're live right now. We're going to get into all the good stuff pretty soon. So before we do all of that, let's go to promo plugs, different shout outs, and talk about some upcoming news, tournaments, and whatnot. So first and foremost, buy Dream Cancel t-shirts at dreamcancel.com/shop. Join the Dream Cancel Discord server. If you want the link, just go on the front page of dreamcancel.com, or maybe somebody might pop it in the chat if they could, like an invite link or something like that. We do matchmaking. We watch videos. We have a lot of fun there. We do different events and stuff like that. So yeah, we talk about a lot of different things. So feel free to join us in our Discord server. It's a lot of fun. Buy King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match Final Edition and O2UM and 13 and King of Fighters 14 all on Steam, and they all have pretty decent net play. Shout outs to Kings of Colorado. Shout outs to Orochinaji.com. Oh yeah, big shout outs to the King of Data app, which is a frame data app and gameplay resource for King of Fighters 14 for Android and iOS phone systems. Very, very useful. I use it a lot. And the King of Fighters 14 wiki, the Dream Cancel wiki, is linked on the app, which is actually very, very cool. And before I forget, I would like to give enormous shout outs and gratitude towards the people and players, anonymous players and well-known players that have contributed to the wiki lately. It has gotten a big boom of submissions and good information lately. A lot of pages are now being filled out with information. Before, it was just like tumbleweeds up in there, but now people are planting great seeds of information and updating things all the way from the freaking demo version. So I want to give a big shout out to people that have contributed information. I think what kind of jump started everything was probably me just sharing people the updates of what's going on with the wiki. I think that's important. So if people kind of see that people are contributing, I guess that jump started people to want to contribute as well. So let's just keep it going on Twitter and on Discord. I let people know what progress different pages have made, even if it's like a typo that's been fixed. I'm gonna let people know as much as they can. So again, thank you all very, very much for your work, and let's keep it going. Let's like fill it up as much as we can. Like for example, Rock, like before Rock's page was just like totally empty. Now like all the sections have information on there and it's pretty good. So again, thanks. As I don't even know what to say. Just thank you so much. Let's keep things going forward. Shout outs to the King of Fighters Reddit. Shout outs to Game Goons. Shout outs to Kick Punch Block.
Hey.
Yeah. Shout outs to the Dream Cancel King of Fighters 14 B&B combos guide for those that are just starting with the game. They have a lot of very, very easy combos to get people started with. And shout outs to the frame data document. That is also inside the King of Data app. Shout outs to SNK for the King of Fighters 14 esports support program. They are sponsoring and supporting national tournaments, local tournaments, and if you're interested, just go to SNK's website, King of Fighters 14 page section, and fill out the application. It's actually pretty easy, and you might get either a bag of swag or or you never know, you might even get like a pretty fat like pot bonus for your tournament. So please take advantage of that. And what other shout outs? I think that's really it for now. We can kind of get into some previous tournament recaps. So why don't we talk about the online tournament, Pedro? That happened was it like last week? No, actually it was on Sunday. It was a few days ago.
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah, it did. Oh man. So this is your first time running an online tournament, correct?
Yeah, it was my first time running an online tournament.
Cool. What did you think?
What did I think? It was harder than I thought. Just running it on Steam alone, it made it a little bit more complicated. Just didn't think things through, I guess. I didn't realize that when you alt tab the game, it actually freezes the image, the game.
Yeah.
So on stream, it looks like someone pauses it. That's what it looks like.
Ooh, okay.
So
yeah, I think I remember seeing someone in the chat stream wonder about that. It was like, well, why do you keep pausing the game?
Why do I keep pausing it? Yeah, that and just a couple other things I just didn't realize. I mean, like people checking in and people how people can update their own scores and stuff like that online. Just little things that can make it a lot simpler and a lot easier to run. So I think for the next one, it's going to be a lot better.
All right, cool. Would you like to share with us the amount of entrants and the I would say the standings for the tournament?
Yeah, sure. We had several people that joined. I think we had like 12 people that signed up, but eventually only 8 people entered, competed. Top 3 were first place was Angelo Deep from Tijuana, Mexico. Second place was you, Desmond. Congrats on that again.
Mm-hmm.
And third place was K-Man. I don't know where K-Man's from. I think he said he's from what did he say? I think from the East Coast. Don't remember where exactly though. But he's an online player. I met him online in one of my streams. So he's fairly good, pretty good player.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, dude. That was pretty good. Yeah, shouts to Angelo Deep. Yo, that Nelson, man, he was giving me a run for my money, man. He was tearing me up. And Ralph, like I had to like step in the training mode earlier today and yesterday to kind of remember what Ralph can do.
Yeah, he plays different. Not a lot of people play with Ralph, so you kind of got to get used to it.
Right. And actually, I have a clip, man, from the tournament. It's like the last few moments of the grand finals. So I'm going to share that real quick with y'all, and we'll be right back to talk more.
All right, Shune versus Nelson again. Now Nelson got it done last game, which Nelson's been the deciding factor in a lot of these. Shune with the red punch, roll set up, Nelson rolls away. Ooh, good air-to-air from Nelson. Does not want to deal with that hop CD. Can Deza make the adjustment now that Angelo's adjusted his timing? Ooh, good throw tech.
Yeah, he's jumping in with that jab.
Ooh, he went for a low-profile sweep instead of a low-profile low B. There it was, see? I said that was baiting the roll, and it baited the roll that time for a lot of damage. Ooh, blue hand to punish. Super, blocked. Wow, that overhead still worked? Okay.
Jeez.
Desmond needs to be real careful here. Ooh, big conversion. He burns super. Alright, what's the setup here? Throw. What's the setup? Ooh, that throw is not very plus. Wow, that throw is actually not very plus at all. Alright, Nakaru's coming in, but Nelson shouldn't have a ton of life. Yep. Bar piece. If Nakaru can win this without spending meter, that would be ideal. Which she can do. She has the kit, like the setup to do it. Oh, bird flip, gets hit out of it in the air. Down C whip with no punish. Ooh, dash through the Mahamama call. Ooh, good air to airs from Angelo. Down C. Angelo with the disrespect. Ooh, this is bad for Desmond. Slide chip damage. All
He
right.
lost a lot of health, but he'll be about half health again. But
Yeah, he'll get a lot back because there's a good chunk of time.
he's almost on 2 bars.
But
Like
Ralph, the man,
Yeah.
coming in, but doing all the shenanigans. Ooh, CD. Nakaru's weird ass CD. Angelo's pressing buttons. He is pressing buttons. Alright. EX whips, but able to throw the roll anyway. Whoa, they were both invincible.
Ooh, that grab.
They were both invincible. Wow, that's crazy. Alright, hits with the bird flip, conversion.
Make
Press
it hurt.
L2,
Make it hurt.
take him all the way to the corner. Alright, what's the corner setup? Empty
Nice.
low. Goes up. Ralph's still alive though, he's a tank. Ralph sitting on 4 bars. Hits with the D but not converts. Oh my god!
Continuous jump D.
Angelo just doesn't care, he's just going ham.
He didn't block it the first 2 times. I'll do it a third.
Wow. Alright, Iori's
It's all
in
on
now.
Iori.
Iori does not have a lot of meter and he's got a lot of work to do. Rolls away. Ralph is going a little nuts. He's got a lot of meter too.
Yeah, Ralph could do 2 combos and kill Iori.
Yep. Now Iori has only 2 bars, so he has to play this very carefully. Down C whiffs, gets hit out of the recovery frames.
Oh, that
Ooh.
air CD is so good.
Jump CD,
Drop.
active frames, yep. Gets a conversion,
Oh, he just missed it.
but no punish. Oh no. Is that it?
Yes. Oh,
No. Iori living on a prayer, wakes up with a C, but doesn't convert. Hits him again. Can Iori close the round out? No.
oh.
And Angelo takes it 3-2.
Wow, congratulations.
All right, cool. All right, that was a clip from the tournament. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody that joined. How often you want to try to do these, Pedro?
I want to do these on a monthly basis, so I already have one planned for next month. Just hoping more people sign up, and you know, it'll be fun because I'm gonna try and throw in stuff every month, prizes and stuff like that.
All right, cool. Sounds good. And I'm gonna try to get back on it as well, man, because we used to do the DC online tournaments. Like we've done a lot of party battle mode, but yeah, we'll try to get back on it pretty soon. That way, you know, the workload isn't all on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the more tournaments, the better. You know.
Exactly. Cool. All right, let's keep things moving forward. Let's talk about 2D Con. This happened. This was like 2 weeks ago. Had a $1,000 pot bonus, and it was held at a gaming convention called 2D Con, which is I would say like a non-profit organization, and it was a lot of fun, man. We had at least like I think 30 people signed up, and yeah, top 3 got paid out pretty much, and I would like to show a picture of the top 3. So that is myself, Unwieldy, and Summy G. And I got 3rd, Unwieldy got 1st, and Summy G got 2nd place. And we have a clip.
Is there a? Is there? Where can we watch that?
Gato Ray actually uploaded it, man.
Oh man, got a Ray already?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he posted it up almost like a day after. I was like, what? So on stream, this is just a very brief clip of Grand Finals that we're going to show right now, and we'll be right back.
Mother's kind of sitting full screen doing. Ooh, he's going to have to hold that, but he rolls out. Ooh, got that combo. Get the combo in the corner here. Gonna spend the meter. He's gonna wait. Wait. Okay. Goes for the low. There we go. Jump low. Nice. Tina's down. Benny Maru's gonna have about 80% here, so he's got good footing against Geese. Got some good meter too. Should be able to do some good stuff. Yeah, both characters with a lot of bar here. Benny Maru into max mode. I'm gonna throw an EX fireball. Rolls back. Want to go to half push. Ooh, just barely missed that. Geese with full bar. Yeah, he definitely can kill him at this point. Yeah. Any hit. Sam's being very careful. Gets empty jump low again. Oh, that could have been it. Oh, and I think that's going to be it. Yeah, Raging Storm. With the 3-0, Alex wins the tournament. Takes it over Sami G. Give it up for your King of Fighters.
All right, cool. So yeah, that was 2D Con, and we were just talking about the turnout. So yeah, I mean, we like, I try my best to let people know. I guess maybe I don't know. I thought people would probably try to come because of the pot bonus, and you know, it was almost, I mean, you just paid to get into the convention, which was just like $30-35. There wasn't any entry for the actual tournament, so but it's all good. All right, so let's keep things going. Why don't we talk about that happened that same weekend, SummerJam.
Oh, that's why I didn't consider 2D Con. I was at SummerJam.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that this was also planned that exact same weekend with Furia Tica 2017. So, were you there, Elkidori? Or?
Yes, it was. It was the first time they had held SummerJam at this new venue at Cherry Hill, New Jersey. All the previous ones, as far as I know, had been held at Essington, PA, at the Clarion, which was notorious.
Okay.
The tournament was pretty good. I forget what we had. I think we had 30-some entries, if I remember right. Everybody, it's all up on Smash GG. Best performance I've personally had so far. I got top 8 barely, and then immediately got smacked by why am I blanking right now? Pachu.
Oh,
Pachu KOF.
Yeah, he got second. Okay.
Yeah. KPB in general did pretty well. JDR got 5th, and DZ Kujaku got 9th, and he was in the same pool as Violence and Pachu. Mm-hmm. So the two of them knocked him out before they went on to take 1st and 2nd. It was a pretty solid tournament. It was 2-day. We had Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that did something to my nerves that I had never experienced before. I've done well in tournaments before, but usually on the smaller side, like on the waning days of like Ultra and stuff. Yeah. Like I've done all right, but that was all like small, self-contained 1-day stuff. But no, that whole thing of being told, no, you got to come back tomorrow. Oh crap, I can't party tonight.
Yeah.
It was quite nice. A little early for top 8.
What time was
It
it?
was like it was like 11 o'clock, which on the East Coast we don't do well with.
That was funny because our top 8, our top 8 for 2DCon was at 10 a.m.
Oh man.
Yeah, I couldn't warm
Oof.
up or anything, man. I just went in kind of cold, and I was a little nervous because we're on that stage and all them lights are at you, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like KOF always gets those early schedules.
Yeah,
in general.
it's hard to play KOF like super early in the morning for me, man. I need to be like warmed up like in the afternoon or something, you know.
Out of any fighting game I've ever competed in, KOF more than any other requires warm up.
Yeah.
Like when I play it, like I cannot sit down cold and play it well.
Right.
Like I need to get some games under my belt first. So it was a sharp learning curve.
Yeah. But yo, we do have a brief clip from the grand finals because I want to kind of show people violence is king. So.
Oh, it was glorious.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna show that real quick and we'll be right back.
Roll like 9 times. Yeah. So at this point, I think he's just comfortable.
Right. So now this is where the disadvantage really plays against Pachu because now he comes back to Gang-Il, but Gang-Il is the center character. He's going to have the advantage of an extra meter.
But
so.
Gang-Il with bar does
goes for it.
3.
Goes for it, man. Not taking any chances. Huh. That's it now.
Run up
backs
row.
it off. Good tech.
Attack.
That's it again. Pachu trying to pull out another, little extra out of the trick bag. Going for the climax.
Fun's going to hop in. Yep. Okay, Pachu sees it now.
Yep. Again, like I said here, the job's already done. Like I said, if you can hold off for a little bit, get it under 30 seconds.
The Pachu shouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to. He has enough health. He can block all day. He doesn't have to get hit. He doesn't have to get hit.
Can't start eating on a bunch of these raw
Once
venom.
King does come in, he can just stand D and trade. That's all he has to do.
Ooh,
it's just trade.
Oh,
do
no
it,
way.
Pachu.
Oh my God. One climax deserves another. Just like that, yo.
He didn't have to do
Oh
it.
my goodness.
He didn't have to do anything.
And again, 17 seconds left. He's going to get barely nothing back, but the fact that we're even looking at the possibility, the feint, the teasing of an OCV in the last match of Grand Finals. Oh my God. Just when you think you've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen, you see violence.
Double OCV. He did it earlier.
All right, again, like I said, it's literally death by 1,000 cuts. And the fact that, what's up with the grab?
Grabbed Ori, man.
All right. Okay. Manages to take down King. So he misses the double OCV
44 seconds
Grand
left.
Finals.
Pachu would get back pretty good help. Violence did use all of his meter. He does have, I think, 2 bars. He has 2 bars. But Pachu can do this.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Pachu can do this, though. I believe.
Pachu, he's in Jesus, man. You got to be careful with them crouch D's, baby.
At this point, he needs to remember, I'm a good player. Yep. He's a good player, but I am a good player.
Again,
if you start thinking that he's so much better than you, you won't be able to fight him. You have to just relax.
Oh,
That's
wow. Going for the Mac
back
dash.
Oh,
Ooh, manages to get it. Doesn't go for the full damage, but again, he still has the opportunity here.
He's like, I'm a good player. Now, he
goes
did
to
a
the
better
EX.
combo than that.
Oh, and right now, Pachu, he's fighting back. He's fighting back heavy right now.
That level 3 on that back, that was 100% call out to say, I do not suck. I can do this. I can run this back.
So here we are. Possible tournament point for violence. Possible, again.
Any hit
tournament
from
life.
Benny Maru actually can just beat that. He has lives to beat for it. But Pachu, because Benny Maru at this point, he's doing that to gain meter, but he has no meter to gain. Yuri does not now, but he can't keep throwing fireballs because Pachu, violence can't just level 3 him.
He's like slowly just eating him away.
True, but he did push him to the corner.
Right.
No fireballs can come from Pachu at all.
And he's out.
And he got him to the corner in one move.
And Pachu, like I said, right now, that's all he has done thus far in this round.
Pachu can't throw fireballs. If Violence reacts, he'll kill him.
If Violence manages to use this, okay, I was about to say, if he manages to take this tournament without using meter in the last match, Oh, the EX grab, and that's going to be
A
it.
drop perhaps? No, he tripped him. He tripped him. He can't.
Oh, he dropped it.
No,
Wow,
Pachi,
he was
you
supposed
had
to go
be
for the
aware.
forward B.
You had to be aware.
All right, Pachi got a lucky break. He's going to have to make this count. Oh, but the guard cancel blowback.
Go nutty.
Ooh.
Go nutty. Get in there.
Oh, and he stuffed him on it.
Kill nutty. It don't matter.
Pachi,
He
do
can't-
anything.
He can't bust out. You go nutty. You kill him.
Pachi,
That's
go
right.
crazy, bro.
That's right. No, you have to do it now. You only have 14 seconds. You have to do it now.
It is going to be it. Guard cancel still there. Ooh, gets over the slash. Oh, and the suplex. And just like that, Violence blowing
blows the
kisses there. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so that was Grand Finals, SummerJam 11, King of Fighters 14, Violence 1, first place, and with Pachu KOF with second. Who got third again, man?
Oh, why am I blanking on that?
Man, that person gonna be mad at you.
They're gonna be so mad at me. You were right there. You saw me. It was Temple Nut.
Oh, Temple Nut.
Nut.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I usually play them online. Yeah, shout out to Temple Nut.
Yeah.
Word. All right.
Yeah. Philly.
Word. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, you know what? Let's.
Oh,
move.
JDR got fourth.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah. I might need to pull up the Smash GG page. But, yeah. Shout out to everyone that went up to SummerJam. Another tournament that transpired that exact same weekend was Furia Tica 2017. First place was what's his name? ARS. Second was Orochinaji Gabo. Third was Vicio. I do have a clip of that. It's kind of long, so I'm not gonna bother, man. I'll just link it in the chat. You could watch it on like the True Challengers channel or whoever else decided to sneak up on their YouTube channel. But yeah, the clip I made is way too long, and we have way too much to talk about to just be watching videos all day. So
do you have a screen mirrored right now?
A what?
Do you have one of your screens mirrored right now showing up on the stream?
Actually, yeah. Well, actually, I have the main layout. Here it is right here. Oh yeah, what happens is if you if you have it outputted through Google Hangouts, it will actually flip it. So yeah, here it is.
Okay.
In its whole glory.
So look at it.
Yeah, I have to keep switching it back and forth in the program I use, but yeah. But again, I'm not going to show the video. I do have some pictures of like all the people that entered the tournament for KOF or just random people. This is one right here, and also I do have a picture for SummerJam. Do you remember this picture?
Oh, nice. Maybe. Is there 8 of us? Yep.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Are you in it? Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm all the way on the left there.
Oh, word. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me zoom on in, man.
Oh, the lonely white boy. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Word. All right. Cool. But yeah, that's top 8 for SummerJam. All right. Cool. Let's move things. Oh, actually, for Furia Tica, the cosplayer is pretty dope. It was Love Heart, Sylvie. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
I don't think I ever seen anyone cosplay for Love Heart before.
It was fantastic. If we're only going to have one, that's a really good one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's keep things going and talk about Absolute Battle 8. This is this weekend. So what's the whole situation with this, Erica and Alec?
Basically, Hurricane decided to make an appearance. So Alex works for an electrical company, and they go into like an emergency mode and everything because he's part of the IT department. So that's probably going to be holding us back from attending.
Okay.
Oh.
But we're also seeing right now that the attendance for Absolute Battle is not very good yet.
Ah, that's too bad. Man.
Yeah, I know some people are skipping Absolute Battle, instead going to watch the Mayweather fight.
What? You didn't say that earlier.
Oh,
I got money on Mayweather.
Oh,
$100.
I forgot about that, yo. Okay.
see, I was hoping to go to Absolute Battle and find somebody that had a hotel room that was streaming the fight so we can watch it there.
Hey, you never know. They might stream it at the actual.
I know, that's what I was
venue,
thinking.
you know?
I was like, that'd be so badass if they did that. But
Wow.
I can't even go.
The bar might carry
And then,
it.
like, watch the power go out here. We can't even watch the fight either.
What was you gonna say, Elkie?
I have a way to watch the fight. I'm just not going to.
Oh wow. All right, yeah, that's interesting. I was wondering when that was gonna happen, but yeah, Absolute Battle 8. If you're gonna be in the area, if you wanna, brave the storm, go right ahead. KOF will be there. A lot of other games will be there as well. What's the specific location for this venue?
This is it's called Plano, Texas. It's right above Dallas, like about, I think, like, what, 20, 30 minutes above Dallas?
Yeah, around there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really good venue. We went there last year. That was actually the first major for KOF 14 last year. And the venue is really nice and everything there.
All right. Okay. If you're in the area, go ahead and check out Absolute Battle 8 this weekend, August 25th through 27th, versus gameplay.com.
Also, VCL was telling us that I think they're going to do all of KOF on Friday now instead of Friday and then finals on Sunday.
Oh,
like
because
they
of
were
the turnout?
originally Yeah, because of the turnout.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's go into September. CEO Taco 2017.
Man, I want to go, but we're not going to go this year.
Oh, okay. September 23rd, 24th. Who else is contemplating on going?
I wish.
Yeah, we went last year. It was really fun last year.
Yeah, we all met last year, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex made, I think, what, 12th or 9th place. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I remember. That's when Nakaru was like going ham on everybody.
Yeah, and when that guy, I think it was Kyame, he was playing verse and he was just destroying everybody.
Yeah, gave Nakaru a good run for money. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good tournament. All right.
And then the Wawas right there was so good.
Oh, Wawas. Oh, let's not go into that, yo. That was too good. People still talking about that.
Right.
All right.
It's the best video.
Yeah.
Was CEO Taku last year the first post-launch major for KOF 14?
It was Absolute Battle and then CO Taku.
Okay.
I think Absolute Battle last year, someone said the turnout was like 55 players or something like that.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And then for CEO Taku was, I don't remember how much. 11 or something, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But for anyone that's going this year, go ahead and go. I don't know if SNK is supporting or not. I'm not sure, but it'll be dope to have some sort of pop bonus for it. But yeah, if you're going, is in Orlando, Florida. Again, it's September 23rd, 24th. Let's keep things going forward, and let's get into real quickly KOF Destiny. Who's been watching it?
I've just been quietly in love with it, just because it's just so corny, and like I live for corny, just like because I always liked like the old-fashioned feel of like just the really just like how like I think like Fatal Fury kind of like dialogue where it's just all this silly stuff that barely makes any sense, and it does have like it tries to be like this serious little thing, but at the same time, it's just so shameless about being corny and being kind of cheesy, and just seeing Ryo on a tiny bicycle trying his very best to get where he needs to go just sort of sold me immediately. Like, I just saw it and I was like, okay, I can't put this off anymore. I need to see this in motion.
Okay, so you remember a lot from all the episodes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or the first three. All right, so I'm gonna show just a brief little preview clip of the first episode, and then we'll go into it, and then go into the next one, and so on. So we'll be right back.
キングオブファイターズ3人1組のチーム戦だってさサウスタウンの子猫ちゃんたち君たちの王子がやってきたよそういえばこの町に極限流の道場があるんだ行ってみないか
秘伝の書を渡せ強者にこそふさわしいもの挑戦を受けないなら彼らの命の保証はない貴様にこの秘伝の書は渡せないならば力ずくで奪い取るまでだ
I finally pulled up the actual
All right,
bracket. And I went,
that was from episode 1 of KOF Destiny. So, Burley Girly, what was your thoughts on that first episode?
I feel like it was a good start. It sort of like, it told us that it's not going to be completely serious. It's just going to be this sort of like, you know, silly kind of thing. And I feel like the opening song especially is kind of cool. Like, that really stuck out to me because, I mean, there is a lot of, people do have a lot of general complaints. It's not the best thing in the world. It doesn't look like the best thing in the world. I'm fairly certain it's something that they've outsourced. I think it was by, like, Studio iDragon, which I've not heard a lot about. I tried to look up some stuff about them and still couldn't really find much. But they're definitely, like, there's just something really that adds to like the silliness of it, where the faces aren't quite right, but they really try, and it's just sort of like, kind of like how staggered the animation is and stuff, just sort of adds to like this weird sort of lightheartedness to it in a way, to just sort of look at it from a different perspective. I'm not really like putting my expectations very high for SNK. They haven't really, they're still in a lot of new territory, and I'm not sure what studios they're working with the pachinko machines. Obviously, those are a much more condensed sort of venture when it comes to animation and very short animations. They're not as long term. Seeing as, oh, sorry.
They've had other animations before KOF. Another Day is something that just, I mean, they used this promotion. I thought it was okay. It was alright, but it was a lot more serious than a lot more funny in that sense.
It's definitely King of Fighters Destiny in comparison to Another Day was definitely really different. I feel like the effects, especially, I feel like a big thing that people miss with King of Fighters 14 is that the effects are really fucking cool. King of Fighters Destiny is almost there. It's still pretty cool, but it doesn't feel like it blends very well. But they're definitely trying, and they have a lot of good concepts there in what they're doing, and I really look forward to seeing more because it's just such a wonderful little ride. Like, I'm not going in with very high expectations again. Like, I'm going in with like Fatal Fury movies level expectations. just something silly and out there, but like amusing to watch. Yeah. And also, I'm kind of like weirded out by the hairstyle choice they had for Billy. It's actually the same one as one of the Fatal Fury pachinko machines. Has that haircut, and just looking at it, I'm like, this is so weird. I'm not used to Billy having black hair, for one, and it's just a really stupid haircut. Yeah. And it's like, what made them have that choice of giving him that instead of either the bald look or the blonde look that he usually has? Right. It's it weirds me out.
All right, I want to show a little preview clip of the second episode real quick. So we'll be right back.
なんで止めるんだよ俺が殺してやるこれがギースタワーだあいつギースに伝えろ極限流の KOF 出場を止められると思うなとな俺とやる気ならリングで勝負だ 坂崎俺と勝負しようぜ寸じをあれやリリーお前は不意打ちしかできないのかそんなことはないさ
Back. Yo, I like that fight between Billy and Rio, and that was pretty cool.
It was really cool. It had a lot of the sound of everything was pretty familiar. What is that? What would you even call that? Sound effects. Not quite. I guess it would be sound effects. Benimaru being an idiot and trying to fight them both at once was pretty amusing. And another thing that I really like about this series is just Daimon's presence.
Yeah.
For one, he's there, but he like adds a lot in like comedic effects.
Yeah.
It's always beneficial because I really like the dynamic that is Kyo, Daimon, and Benimaru. That's always been a really good dynamic within the games, where you just have this punk kid, you have this slightly older kid. I don't remember how old Benimaru is. I think he's probably in his 20s. Who's really fashionable, but also really full of himself, has an ego the size of his hair. And then you have Daimon, who's an adult, has children and kids and stuff, that just sort of takes care of them and keeps watch, but kind of gives them a respectful space, but just sort of reminds them, hey, don't be idiot. And it's really good. It's just really, it's fun. I really liked seeing Tiny Andy. He was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Little Andy and little Terry are really adorable. And just the little scenes with the random mooks and stuff, Geese's little henchmen.
Yeah.
Just trying their best, but not quite working out, is always really funny to watch.
All right. Let's show clips from episode 3, because I have questions about that. So yeah, we'll be back.
ゆりちゃんが家出したんやなんだと
お兄さんが KOF に出ちゃダメだってこうなったら自分でなんとかする
御曹司なんだから人一人探すくらい簡単だろサウスタウンに赤いキャップで赤いジャケットを着た格闘家っているかな
どこかで会った気がするの
でもこの店悪くないねなかなかいい雰囲気だと思うよ暴れんじゃねえここ誰の島だと思ってる
義理の父のギースの店だもの
ギース本当に
All right, we're back.
Part of the,
So we were talking about how Yuri looks compared to Angelina. So what did y'all think of this episode 3? It was shorter than the other ones. I mean, I don't know if they just cut out the ads or something, but it seems shorter.
Ryan Bomber is making a good point in the Twitch chat. I'll point to that for a second here. It's talking about how lots of people get upset of why they are telling the Fatal Fury story during the Orochi saga. People don't get that nothing really happened during KOF 94, so it's a perfect time to explain where Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting fits in the KOF universe. And that's something that I sort of overlooked too, because I'm just sort of like trying to enjoy the ride. But looking into it now, more in that perspective, that really does make a lot of sense, because there is a lot of history that comes from those games that sort of crawled over into King of Fighters just because of the roster that they brought. A lot of environment came, a lot of weight comes from Fatal Fury and stuff, and Geese and all of that area as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's funny. I like Angelina. They gave her like her little like name title. I'm like, I don't know this person. Like,
well, now you know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's been a while. I don't really know a lot about her, but I believe the first time that I saw her was in one of the old Fatal Fury movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the anime movies. They're really funny to watch too. She's just sort of there. She's supposed to be like a love interest for Terry.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like, that's sort of just her purpose. She's a lampshade. in all intents and purposes, she's kind of just a lampshade, to be romanced. And the scene between her and Terry, where like she's flirting with him, but Terry doesn't quite like pick up on it, and it's just sort of like really awkward, but kind of like funny awkward, but also like, Terry, please.
Yeah.
You little green bean, like, notice.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Maybe for the next podcast we could just talk about the whole show, because there's a lot. I feel so. Episode 4. So it's like every Thursday these episodes come out on Steam.
Is it Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. So that'll be tomorrow.
Okay. All right, cool. But yo, check out.
I guess I don't know when they come out.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah.
If it's Thursday, Thursday's tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so it'll be episode 4. All right, cool. So yeah, check it out, and we'll talk more about it some other time. But yeah, thanks for the input, guys. And why don't we finally get into talking about King of Fighters 14. It's been 1 year since the game has been released for PS4. Oh man, where to start? So yo, who picked it up day one? Anybody kind of remember a year ago?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I bought a few copies of it.
I remember getting my collector's edition and then lovingly petting it and then just sitting in my room without a PS4.
I bought that game.
Who got the premium edition?
I got a few copies of it.
Okay. Yeah, I got the premium edition too, and then I also bought the online version. So, yeah, that was a fair amount of my paycheck, I would say.
It was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was worth it though. They also gave me a poster.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, for pre-ordering it, I got a poster from GameStop. They were like, "Hi, did you get a poster?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, here." And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's beautiful."
I have to go to Evo for my poster. I'm sad.
Yeah, they were giving them out at Evo.
I got like whatever the my GameStop had left over, so I had like 6 for a while. Wow.
Just use it as wallpaper. Perfect.
I only need one.
All right, how many?
As a matter of fact, I don't have much more room, and I just got like a 3 foot by 2 foot Persona 5 poster. I need to figure out where I'm gonna put.
Oh.
All right, how many of y'all broke the street date on that? By the way,
I couldn't. I didn't work at GameStop anymore, so I couldn't take mine home.
Yeah, we had to buy it on it the day that it came out. We were thinking of it. It was like, nah.
There are a couple. Go on.
First time I played it was at last year's SummerJam, and they were holding a tournament, and for the most and it was before. It was releasing the following week. So you had some people there who had got their copies at like mom and pop places and all that, like in the prior week and all, and they came in knowing what to do. And then you had the people from 13 coming in trying to figure out if their stuff still worked.
Oh yeah.
And then you had goons like me who was just like, oh okay, well, let me see if I can patchwork something together out of like this game and that game and everything leading up to it. There was a lot of people that had entered, and it was really fun, except that you just saw like a boatload of Roberts because he was just jump in his shoes and play.
Yeah, you know what? I want to highlight what Dweemenheimer 20 said. Day one, it had terrible underwater lag. I guess he's talking about the net code.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I remember that like it was yesterday. But then the little kicker, the little fix, the little hack was the good stuff. The bug wasn't in party battle mode.
That was the most whack thing ever.
That was so.
I could not understand
all right,
how that happened.
Yo, I said this a million times. You know what I'm saying? Like how I had no like expectation that party battle mode would be better day one than the 1v1 mode or player versus player mode. Like that was like the most absurd Twilight Zone thing I've ever experienced in my life. Because I thought when I heard that it was being announced like party battle mode, I'm like, that's gonna be bad. But what? It was like perfect.
Is the solution to the net code was to dump 6 players into one game.
Yeah, and it was
With
populated
6 different internet connections.
Yeah, it was so much fun though.
It was. It was kind of a positive thing because it forced more people to play together.
Yeah, it did.
Out of the gate. So it got people to communicate immediately. Although at the same time, like a lot of people never stepped foot into party battle mode and just assumed, oh, the online is terrible, it's irredeemable, I'm moving on.
Right.
So that's the trade-off.
Party battle is the gift.
Yeah.
It was a good starting point for some players because you didn't have to pick 3 characters. You just had to pick one character that you're trying to learn and then go from there.
Yeah, that's actually
Definitely.
one of the good points.
It makes it a lot less intimidating, especially, as you said, for new players.
Yeah, because like if you lose, hey, it don't matter. Y'all gonna just start right again. Is so and you could just learn your character, and you don't have to take it so seriously. So yeah, I mean we always try to do party battle mode events at Dream Cancel, to ease in new players. I don't know if it really helps, but it's still fun.
I think it does because you only really have to lock on to one character at a time, and when you lose, you get that Overwatch syndrome where you get to blame your team. You disperse the blame as far as why you didn't come out on top.
And also the whole thing about Nakaruru, she was taking no prisoners.
Like Nakaruru and K-Dash.
Oh yeah.
Amateur launch K-Dash.
Yeah.
Mature was the same way. Leona was really dumb still. She had that infinite.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Too many people
Nobody
didn't
ever did
use
it though. That was such a funny thing about it. I never saw anyone do it in like any tournament setting or even online.
Oh, she had discount supers too.
Yep. Everyone forgot about that. Everybody did.
A discount? What do you mean?
If she was in max mode, she could do level 1s in max mode for no meter.
Oh, okay.
Angel had that too.
Ah, okay.
I actually think that she deserved that though.
What, Angel?
Yeah.
Angel.
Only because she still can't max cancel or advance cancel. Like she can max cancel off one super but not counter super, and then you can't advance cancel at all. So.
Okay. Let's talk about everyone's like team. I'm gonna like ask y'all one by one, but do y'all remember like the teams y'all had like before the patch? So Pedro, do you remember what characters you were playing with before the big like nerf to like Nakaruru and like Mature and stuff? Pedro?
Before the patch, first patch?
Yes.
So on launch, right?
Yes.
I was playing Yori, Benny, and Robert.
Okay. That sounds like a pretty solid
That's a solid ass team.
It's an okay team.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Esteban?
I played. Who did I play again? I played K-Dash, Angel, and Kim.
Okay.
When I first started before the patch.
Okay. Alec, what characters was you messing with before the big patch?
I was using Angel, Mai, and K-Dash.
Okay. All right. What made you want to choose Angel?
I mean, I was using Angel in 2K2 vanilla, so I knew coming into 14 she wasn't going to be anywhere near as good, but I just wanted to give her a try, so I picked her up. I kept using her for a while, probably until I met up against too many Nakarurus.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was always a joy, man. Loveheart was pretty strong too, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Her crouch C hit like half screen.
It did. It surely did. Reiki, what characters were you playing with at first?
Maxima, K-Dash, and Kula.
Okay. What made you want to stick with Maxima, and how did you feel that he differed from 13 Maxima?
Well, I could probably write a dissertation about that, Desmond, but the big thing that was changed with Maxima was his max mode combos. I feel like because he didn't have access to his EX meter, and a lot of the things that changed with his supers, it made it a little bit more difficult to play him in a neutral sense, because a lot of his really good stuff was hidden behind a paywall, which the game didn't, or it still doesn't, give you an easy way of accessing it. I also had, with Maxima, a 3-frame super in his EX double vapor cannon, but they've reduced that down to about 12-frame startup. So it was a really big nerf, at least coming from one game to the next. It made it a little bit difficult to, say, punish people from a distance. But by adding in that super, his Maxima laser as an actual DM, desperation move, it was really good for his neutral game as well. So it's a bit of a trade-off. I honestly feel like the lack of good EX moves and lack of good moves outside of max mode really made the character suffer a bit.
Okay. Well said. Baraka, what characters were you playing with at first?
I started off with Benimaru, Kim, and Mai.
Okay. Isn't that a team you kind of still have now, or?
Basically, I have Kula, Mai, and Benimaru right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I dabbled. This is really my first KOF. I dabbled a tiny bit on 13, and I played Kim and Benimaru in there, so I kind of just continued them here since I was a little bit familiar with them already. And then they ended up being top tier, so they stayed.
Benimaru.
Yeah. And then Robert, I really liked Robert, but I struggle with his combos. I cannot do them consistently for the life of me, so yeah, I dropped Robert.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Elkie, do you remember your first King of Fighters 14 team?
Yeah. I was running King Terry Geese. And that was just ease of use, just because it's such long-running characters. I was like, okay. In a short period of time, because I was stepping right into SummerJam, I was like, yeah, these three. And I kind of stuck with them for a while. And I had to drop Geese because I got addicted to counters.
Oh, yeah, you was counter hungry. I got you.
And I was just hanging myself over and over again with them. And I said, I don't have enough self-control to play Geese.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, because like I play Geeses, and yeah, they're addicted to the counters and trying to, do the level 2 and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo,
man, I play Angel and I still do counters all the time.
That's one thing I look for when I play against her. Is everybody's trying to do that little knee up, counter, and it's like, no.
See, I like to do it when I think they're gonna. I like to do it when I think they're gonna try to run up throw.
Right.
Because then instead of throw will be their hard punch, so then they get hit by it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just an addicting concept.
Right. Yeah, because like when it hits, like you just feel so good because it's such a big risk. Let's see. For me, all right, my team, it was weird. I was playing with like Kyo, Mitekun, and Robert, and I think I switched out like Mitekun for like maybe I think Nakaru or something like that. I really don't remember. I was kind of in a crisis a little bit, but yeah, I remember playing at CEO Taku with that team, and yeah, I just did not do well. And but it was still fun though. It was still a lot of fun. Playing with Kyo when you had to like stand people up just to finish his max mode combo, and Robert when you can just do B, stand B and stuff like that. And I had a little trouble with his combos too. I remember that you had to like, you still have to do this. You have to like delay his like EX dive kick and do the little tatsu and stuff all perfectly, and so.
See, for me, I had trouble with the dumbest thing. I could not do the low kick into the, I think it's half circle back kicks. I could not do that.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, it's his most basic thing, and I cannot do it. I don't know why.
Yeah,
like I can do his other combos, but not that. So I'm like, okay, I play him first character. There he goes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it ain't too bad. I mean, did you at least just spam it by itself, like people do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I try to do that too. And I think when I was at CEO Taku, I tried out Benimaru. I was just like playing on the setup, and I was like, dang, this dude is so easy. Like, why am I not playing with him? Because I played with him in 13. So I started picking up Benimaru.
When did Benimaru start getting, like, really? He was always really solid, but when did he start, like, when did he move into top tier? What patch was that?
He's always been that way.
Yeah, he's been untouched. Except
It's
like
just everybody else is touched, I think is what it was.
He got buffed.
He got a light nerf.
What a damage?
What was it? Like,
what was it exactly?
One of the juggles.
Oh, that
one of the juggles you can't do, what is it?
So
the second fireball. EX
So
fireball, you can't
basically,
do
instead
anymore.
of stunning people, he just killed them because they buffed the other EX super damage. So that was the only difference.
Okay.
So you couldn't just stun people left and right anymore.
Okay. The only
But
kind
now
of
they just die.
like the only nerf that he got was just like recovery on his like command throw out thing, and that's like that doesn't matter. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I remember when I first played him, everyone said he was really solid, but it wasn't like now where everybody's like, oh my god, like this guy's top tier. But I think it's because everyone else changed a little bit and he stayed the same basically.
Yeah.
Same thing with Iori. Iori's top tier, but everybody else got lower around him and he didn't get any nerfs.
Right. Okay. Ooh. Next question. This is more of like a community-based question. Like, how was your local community receptive to 14 when it came out? Like, were they receptive? Did they even know? Like, let me pick someone. Let's Okidori. How was your community like feeling 14 when it dropped?
Pretty good. We're not really a hotbed for it to begin with, so even when it's brand new, pretty much just the same old heads kind of come out.
Yeah.
One or two young guys showed up, but they kind of fell into it like at the end of 13, and then 14 was like their real good jumping on point. Because 13 was not the easiest game to jump in with.
Yeah.
We ended up getting like kind of a little clique of about like 6 or 7 guys out of it that have consistently showed up to stuff since 14 launched. It was a shame, like one of the most loyal guys ended up moving after a few months to like the other side of the country. So that was a shame. But no, we were basically non-existent at one point because the guys that were really showing up to support kind of gave up because there wasn't enough energy. in about the 2 years leading up to 14's launch.
Right. Okay. All right. Pedro, how was your community feeling 14 when it came out?
It was a mixed emotions everywhere, honestly. They anticipated the game, but I mean, at the same time, they didn't want to let go of 13. So that's kind of where our community here is in Colorado. Still, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the players don't want to play 14 mainly because it's not what they thought it was going to be. So they wanted to be like 13, So.
Yeah, that happens a lot, man. When a new game comes out, people want it to be the exact game. They don't want nothing different. They want it to just be the exact game, maybe just cosmetically a little different. But yeah, people adapting is kind of hard.
Right. But I mean, they've been seeing the updates on the game, and they want to play it, but I think they think it's too late for them now since I have like a year ahead of them. But it's I tell them it's super easy to play. It's not hard like 13 was. So if they play it enough, they'll catch up right away.
Right. Okay. All right. Baraka and Alec, how was your local scene receptive to 14 when it came out?
Yeah, it was good. I don't remember for sure.
Wait,
it was good.
I didn't mean to call on y'all both at the same time.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was good, well received, mostly because most of the players that play at that time KOF weren't playing KOF actively. Like KOF 13 in my area, there's no KOF 13, so most of the people that were playing 14 are coming back from maybe 2K2 but that are not actively playing. So it was well received for a while. It was very active. Still is, but not as much. But
The only reason it's not as much right now, though, is because our local shop kind of closed down for renovations or moving to a new place. But since then, we really haven't been playing. And then also, Tekken 7 got a little hype here, so a lot of people have been playing that too.
yeah, and it's also a little bit hard to get together. I mean, when we say local scene, it's at least an hour drive.
Yeah, our area's basically between an hour to an hour and a half drive. It's a really big area.
Yeah, and if you want to get more involvement, that's when we go to a bigger city like Austin, Houston. 6 hours, probably around there. That's where you find all those players that used to play 13, and then they used to play competitively, so they're used to going to tournaments, and now they're playing 14. So that's where you see VCO, Stray Wolf, players from Texas, mainly concentrated in Austin, Houston.
Okay. All right. Reiki, how did your local scene take 14, if you remember?
We did pretty good. I feel like we had a kind of tournament scene already set up with the Sharkade, which is in San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
They had run a circuit all the way from winter to about the summer. And we had 8 entrants on a regular for a while. But as we got into spring, it kind of died down. This will actually be the last season that we'll have KOF 14 there. But it'll, as a circuit, a weekly tournament. But we'll still have KOF there as a casual game. I feel like a lot more people are playing casually, and we've gotten a lot of new people to play the game here in the Bay Area. But not really at a level where they want to compete.
Okay. Do you know why, or...
I feel like it has a lot to do with just traveling and comfortability with the game. It could have something to do with some of the mechanics. It's a little bit harder for them to get comfortable there's also a big gap between some of the top players here, like Gendy or KPB, JDR. So there's not a lot of room for improvement. At least when you're starting off from 0, and then you have someone that's playing at a world-class level.
Okay. Yeah. I think a lot of scenes can kind of relate to that. You know, you're just starting and then you're playing people that have just been playing for so long. It's hard to like catch up. So they just say, "Oh, well, why should I even try?" You know what I mean? Unless like they just want to solely just play with people of their level almost like forever, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it was much easier for them to have casual interaction and to learn, and they needed to feel a lot more comfortable playing the game before they could feel comfortable enough to compete against other people.
Yeah.
And like I said, we had a consistent amount of different people playing the game at Charcade, and a lot of people picking it up casually, but competing is a lot different. And I've kind of I've talked this whole issue down to death with survey, with articles and whatnot. The reasons why people don't compete are all really the same. There's age, there's distance, there's availability. There's a lot of different reasons why people aren't really competing right now. But it's definitely not changing the casual scene. There's still a lot of people playing the game casually.
Right. Okay. Esteban, are you there? Esteban? Okay, I think he's. I saw
My
that.
bad. No, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
back.
okay. I saw a BRB, and I was
My bad.
wondering if you were B right now. So.
No, I'm good.
Cool.
I'm back.
Yeah. How was your local scene taking this game when it first came out?
Oh, when it first came out, we had tons of people playing it. We definitely had a lot of newer peoples enjoying it more than the previous players, though. Like, we definitely had the old man divide with, like, me, I had 3 training partners that were also with me that we always, like, even if it was just like a 4-man tournament, we played KOF 13.
Damn.
Including me, only one of them really liked the game, and me and the other 2 already had issues with it. But all the newer people like playing it. So because I stuck with it just to keep as more of like an obligation to play the game and to teach. But it's like I would definitely say that everyone's excited to play Tekken 7 still. So Tekken 7 kind of killed it because everyone's excited to play that game. So it's kind of just the way it went.
Okay. All right. I would say for myself, a lot of the people that play 13 and 02UM, because we were going hard for 02UM like last year, but a lot of those people got into it slowly, but surely. So I would say our community is kind of somewhat still the same numbers wise. So now we're just kind of just concentrating on getting better. We do get like a new person every now and then that might like peek their head in, like, oh, what's this? Oh, okay, all right, this game's okay, and then they might go back to playing like Street Fighter or like Guilty Gear or something like that. That's one thing I have noticed about this game is like people play it like as a pastime or something to wait until like another game comes out, like before like Revelator came out, or people just playing a little bit, and that held them down until Rev 2 came out or whatever. So that's one thing I noticed. People just kind of like they want to play it while they wait for what they really want to play. So that's kind of expected. But want to go into another question. I kind of want to move like ahead a little bit. I was gonna like plan on talk about like every version that came out, but that there's no point to that. But so what version of the game y'all felt that like just changed the game like dramatically? I mean, I know there's like 2.1, but which like version y'all felt just like really just like changed things for you? You feel? And
well,
graphics
like a river.
Yeah. Probably
The
the
graphic
second
patch.
Who said what?
I'm trying to remember everything that.
I think the second patch made the most impact on all the characters since it made all the move speed from all the characters the same on activation. I feel like that one had the most changes to the system itself.
Version 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
Before that, though, I would say the other one that changed was when they changed. I want to say it was all the same patch. They tried to make a lot of the moves that were like ridiculously safe for no reason and made them punishable, like K-Dash's slide, Mature's EXDP. There were a lot of moves like that though, which I agree with the K-Dash one. That was dumb. I threw up a little bit every time I saw some K-Dash player just randomly slide full screen because it's a frame trap on block and a full combo on hit. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the patch where like Nakaruru and K-Dash.
Yeah, the Nakaruru nerfs as well.
Yeah,
like Love Heart got nerfed. It pretty much changed the way a lot of people had to play. A lot of dumb stuff just got thrown out the window with that one.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, like that didn't change like the way that 2.0 did. 2.0 change was huge.
Yeah.
Because a lot of characters that literally it wasn't worth playing. Like Clark was not worth playing, and Clark became a really good character. And a lot of other characters had a lot better options, being able to play like that footsie range too, since everybody got the same run speed for max cancel, for quick max mode. So
okay.
That definitely did the most.
Yeah, I felt a pretty big patch was the Nakaruru Mature nerf, because it was getting so bad to the point it felt like 1.03. Because it was almost getting to the point people was almost about to quit the game because of it, man. Like I remember watching Atma's video and he was getting upset and stuff, and then there's random people posting up these little anti Nakaru strats, and it almost looked like you're trying to build a house or something like that. Like how bad it the amount of effort you had to do just to beat Nakaru, and everyone had a Nakaru sort of, and yeah, when she fell, as well as Mature and stuff like that, and they're really kind of balance things a little bit more. So I think that was a pretty big drastic change, because
they didn't kill any of the characters either. They're still good.
Yeah, they still were good. Yeah. It's just the fact that because that was kind of a big discrepancy, man. It was just Nakaru and Mature and stuff. People were just almost ready just to give up the game right then and there, and unless SNK was gonna balance them out, because it was just that bad, seriously. And I think I agree with everyone that 2.0 was a really big change, because they changed a lot of the system. I mean, roles are still the same, but that and the new characters, and even before that, I think maybe the second to the last, or maybe the maybe third on my list is probably the graphics patch. That made things just look very different. Everybody was just had a slick back, almost shiny clothes. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the pre-patch version of this game, it looked like Vulture Fighter 1. You know what I'm saying? It just looks so different. You could definitely see that it's pre was it 1.1? So yeah, I definitely thought that the graphics patch just made things look a little more slicker and stuff like that with the character models. And now there's the Steam port, people making all these little bootleg mods and stuff, making things look like a soap opera, so we'll I don't know, we'll kind of see what they'll do with that. But a question,
it's been a scary adventure so far.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, with metallic Goro and stuff I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
I still think they're still missing one more patch.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Oh yeah, like what?
The Vanessa patch.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. So, all right. This is like for me like the first KOF game I ever played that had all these frequent updates. Period. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all think like it helped or hurt the game as far as like getting people into it and getting people to stick with it? I'll pick someone for this. Pedro, did you think the frequent updates like kind of hurt or helped the game?
I just think it just depends on the person, honestly. If you're a competitor and you don't like change, that's not going to be to your liking, of course. So that's why people don't like to play, for example, the NRS games, I guess, because they get patched all the time. But as an example, like me myself, when something gets patched, I don't mind it because it definitely helps out other players, I guess, want to play the game since something gets patched. And to me, it's just a matter of finding out how to get around that buff or pretty much just the buff itself. I play characters right now that I've liked, and I didn't necessarily know that they were going to be top tier. But if I play Benny and he fucking sucked, oh sorry, I cussed.
It's okay, man.
And if he sucked, it was gonna suck, But I'm probably gonna have to stick to it or just drop him because in tournament you have to play characters that are gonna be able to, go to toe and toe with the top players and top characters. Especially if you're playing someone that's at your level or higher than you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think patch is a good thing, man. I think it just keeps the game alive, honestly.
Yeah, I want to.
That's just my.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I want to highlight what Sarvet said. He said, "I say helped, kept it on the radar." I agree with that 100% because with 13, man. We were riding hard for that game. The only game had just a minimum 3 little updates and stuff like that. So I thought the patches helped give the game like a new life. It was just like CPR all over again. You know what I'm saying? Or just like a defibrillator. It's like, okay, you back to life, or an extension pack or something like that. One thing I kind of didn't like too much with the updates is that it made information really outdated very quick. Like poor people, man. These people make these dope tutorial videos, these really good gameplay and character videos early on, but before 1.03. And then now those videos are outdated now, and even with combo lists and stuff like that, and move lists with the wiki, it was so hard to keep up. We almost still had stuff from the demo, man. That's how hard it was to kind of keep up. So yeah, it definitely made information just outdated, and you had to just constantly keep up, and you had to change combos and stuff like that. What do y'all think of that?
I think if there's anything to be learned from Tekken and Guilty Gear now, is that arcade is still a really good test bed to iron things out before you put it out for the whole world to see. Because a lot of, there was very limited location testing in this game before it launched, because it kept showing up at these events, right?
Yeah, the little 8 24 character builds and stuff.
Yeah. So you only got for a little brief time period, you got to see just a fraction of what was going to be in the game in very specific locations that kept jumping. So people that tested on the first time weren't necessarily the people that tried it out on the next build. And a lot of the early effort after the release goes into kind of squashing those things that kind of came through. is just, dealing with Knock and dealing with Benny and all. And it's, I think every fighting game that launches on console and PC and all that for the whole world to see before it goes to an arcade kind of runs through those same issues.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of, you only get that one chance to make a first impression. I think that does kind of affect the way it's seen by people that were on the fence, like when it comes out. Because, if you don't have them in those first 6 weeks, it's hard to get them.
Yeah.
It's hard to get those people back.
Yep.
All right. That leads into another question that I wrote down. So, for right now, do y'all feel like the community of King of Fighters 14 hasn't grown, or has it stayed the same, or has it lessened?
As compared to when it first came
From
out?
now to when it first came out.
I think it's definitely grown a lot.
I'll say what I've noticed, at least when it comes to tournaments, is it's definitely gone down though. Like we don't have another Evo to go year over year, so we have no idea how that would be. But tournament numbers I'm seeing now remind me of the last year of 13.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, you can't deny that. That's just the way that it is. And the problem is that even though it's nice that we have a lot more casual players. Even in Indiana, we still have a lot of people who just like to play the game. Mm-hmm. But even then, me, Nathan, and Lewis legitimately stopped playing the game the minute that Tekken came out. And yet those guys weren't playing anymore than when we stopped. They were just playing the casually that they were, and the three of us were still top 3 at our last monthly when we got a bunch of people in. But we're the only guys that are going to be traveling and competing, and the way that the tournament fighting games in the tournament scene is in the States, the minute that a game stops being supported by majors is the same minute that the game inevitably dies. So
I feel like the last time I saw a big explosion of interest in the game was at Combo Breaker, or after Combo Breaker.
Yeah, Combo Breaker did it because Combo Breaker was hype.
Yeah.
But after that, though, I don't know. I'm always worried about it. I don't like the game as much as I like any of the other KOFs, but at the same time, it is always a little discouraging to see numbers go down.
Well, that kind of goes into another question: is that do you feel that this game is still split amongst people that really liked 13? Because I've seen people just talk about, oh man, 13, oh my god, 13, and then 14 don't like 14, and then some people hey, I love 14, something new.
I feel like they're KOF hipsters.
yeah. Do you think do you think this game is kind of divisive as far as the player base here?
I think it's always been like that though. No matter what KOF version comes out, there's always some people that just sticking to the version of KOF that they learned, and that's just what I've seen, what I noticed in general.
I feel age has a really big factor.
What do you mean? Age of player?
The average age of all the players that consistently play KOF are between 25 and 35.
Yeah.
It's about right.
Yeah, that's my age.
So
I'm 26, so
you less than 20% of the people that on average are playing KOF based on survey data is under the age of 20. So I don't really think that has a lot to do with just how the game is made. I think it has a lot to do with our community and making it easier for this age group to compete, because this age group is not able to consistently compete like a 20-year-old is.
Yeah, that's definitely true for me.
Yep, same here. Nathan's traveling to more tournaments than me. He's got that college refund money.
Damn.
Trust me, a part of me wants to go back to school because I kind of want to finish, but I want to get that back too.
Yeah, I'm using this money for NEC. Some of my student refund that I just got, I'm saving it for NEC.
Hey, you better hope
Right.
you better hope they ain't listening, man.
It don't matter. It's your money.
Yeah, no,
It's all good.
I understand. You know,
We pay taxes.
You right?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
It's like funny for me because playing 14 kind of gave me that it was like that stepping stone for me to be able to play 13 at all, it seemed. But I think when it comes to like a younger getting younger people to play, the one thing that I hate saying it because it doesn't bother me, but at the same time, I think it's something that doesn't really bother older players, was the graphics and presentation in this game. Older players don't seem to mind as much if graphics are more simple or if they're sprite based or any of that. But when you've grown up and you've seen so many games like 3D modeled that looked to a certain level, and then something like this comes along whereas like we look at it, we appreciate, this is the first time SNK's really gotten 3D to look this good, where all the characters look the way that you want them, it looks like them,
Yeah.
and with kind of maximum impact kind of thing. And we look at that and we say, okay, SNK's getting there, and they don't care. They want them to already be at that point competing with everything else on that graphical level. And it's tough. Like I said, I don't personally mind, but I know it's been a factor in its adoption in a younger crowd.
I agree with you. I honestly feel like that was a really big factor in why people couldn't get their friends to play this game, or they couldn't sell it to people that they cared about because they felt like the presentation wasn't up to par. And that has a lot to do with just how they built the game. The physics engine isn't something like all the other games that are using Unreal Engine for it. It's a mashup of things that they were doing in-house. It doesn't have the bells and whistles like, say, Street Fighter V or Tekken 7, which are using Unreal Engine 4.
Even with games like Guilty Gear as well. Like, I'm not a fan of Xrd, but at the same time, that game looks phenomenal. Every time they even come out with a new version of the game, it looks great. And then I usually have to always remember, oh yeah, those are 3D models.
But one thing that really, once you get people to play, it is a lot harder to keep them to play KOF, simply because there is not a large amount of information. And this isn't just, I feel like one thing that if I'm talking to the KOF community in general, you should not beat yourself up that this game is how it is, while you can blame yourself for, I wouldn't want you to blame yourself either way. If you're listening, don't do that. But I would say that you should consider is really important, and that if there's no information for people to bite into, they stop biting. And from the data that we collected, we found that it's really difficult to find information on the internet about KOF in general.
Yeah, it's been like that for the longest, man. Ever since like when I started playing like 98 and stuff like that in like 2008, like finding information was a little difficult. Like SRK had some pretty good wikis, like, but not all the characters had information. Like you'll have like one page filled with stuff, and then you have another page that just has like a random picture of a character on there. And like even with Dream Cancel, man, like it was always kind of a struggle to get like information. Like, you know how long it took us to really flesh out the O2UM wiki? It took us almost like 6-7 years. It took us forever.
And that has a lot. Oh, go on. Sorry.
I'm done. You go ahead.
Okay. I think that it just has a lot to do with how our community works. We all speak a completely different language, literally and figuratively, because a lot of us are in different spectrums of competition. A lot of us can be, regular FGC members. Some of us are casual. Some of us are competitive. But the way that we communicate is very finicky. Yeah. I also feel that we come from a culture of mixed sort of interaction. We have people that are coming from Latin countries, people from China, people from Japan, Korea, the Middle East, Europe. There are a lot of people speaking a lot of different languages with a lot of different information, and we are not all working together. If we did, we would have similar strengths that you would see in Tekken or Street Fighter V. And I feel like that's something that we've mentioned before. Consolidating our efforts to get something out there for our whole community is really important.
Okay. That's well said. So before we kind of get into the whole future of 14, what can we do to kind of fix this problem to kind of either grow the community or to just get people to at least stick around?
I've honestly had the hardest time trying to get more people sticking around.
Do you think
at least in Indiana?
Do you think maybe it's because of all the different games are out? Because I think here in the USA, people have all these different options. You know what I'm saying, of games to play. So
Americans in general are very ADD when it comes to fighting games. I mean, I'm no different because, like I said, I me and my roommate and Nathan legitimately stopped playing when Tekken came out. But at the same time, the hardest thing I have the hardest time getting into is a lot of people like instant gratification. And even though this King of Fighters is clearly the easiest King of Fighters to get into, I've had the hardest time trying to keep people around in the beginning. Nathan is the only person I've been successful with. Everybody else have generally been playing fighting games for at least a few years. And I've pretty much just stopped at making an extended effort when it comes to KOF, when I'd rather just let them come to the scene to play fighting games, period. I don't know. I'm kind of open to suggestions, honestly. I'm having a hard time with that one, and I don't really know if there is a real right answer for it.
Yeah, anyone else has anything on their mind regarding how can we fix the kind of community slump with this game?
Two things. Address the fact that we are an aging population and work on solutions that address that population in general, and addressing the fact that we have a very limited amount of information, and we should try and shore up the ability for new players to self-learn, to be able to pace their own learning in the game, and to not hit a wall. And that's an effort that can't be solved by SNK. SNK has been doing very well in providing us with a lot of tools, and just by putting it on a computer has made it easy for us to manipulate the game, like adding in a hitbox viewer, which, as some of you may know, I've been collecting a lot of data from the hitbox viewer and putting it online for pretty much open source use. Anyone can use it, anyone can see it. I feel like that's a really important thing to do, because without information, people get discouraged. They think the fact that they are unsure about something, this level of uncertainty, discourages them from playing. And if you have all the information available to you, you don't have uncertainty, so you feel comfortable with your choices.
Yeah, I think that's true. Okay.
But definitely, oh, sorry.
I was going to ask if anyone else had any other suggestions. Well said, by the way.
I feel like, in terms of the online community, in terms of the more casual players that I've talked to, or people that main other games, so to say, a lot of the stuff that I get is people waiting for sales or wishing the PC version was cheaper, stuff like that. That seems to be it seems to be kind of the gate for a lot of people who are interested, that would like to just sort of shimmy themselves into adding it to how many other games they play. There is a lot of games out right now that a lot of people are playing consistently. It's another issue I see a lot. People are like, oh, I have all these fighting games to juggle that are both ones that are here now and ones that are coming out. A lot is sort of just some online-wise, casual-wise that I've seen is just sort of waiting for, getting the funds to invest into King of Fighters 14, deciding if they want to make that investment yet, or wait for a sale, or wait for a price drop.
That's a good point. Anyone have any thoughts on that point?
I mean, I definitely agree with that. I know the minute that 2018 is over, or like halfway through even minimum, I'm going to be traveling and competing in 5 different games. And so that is kind of crazy because, like, me personally, I've also been playing the new Under Night. I'm super excited for Dragon Ball, and I'm super excited for that Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle game. And with KOF and Tekken, like, it's a lot. It's crazy.
I play Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm done.
I think that talking to the first point that Burly Girly had mentioned about people waiting for sales, while I respect their opinions, I do not really think that that's a legitimate excuse. I really don't think that the price is what really keeps them from playing. Though I feel like that's a way of kind of addressing that situation when you're talking to somebody who's trying to get you to play the game. It's like, oh, the price is too high. The price will always be too high for someone that's not interested in the game. I feel like juggling a lot of different games is a legitimate concern, but I also feel that KOF 14 is really easy to play. I honestly feel like the combos that you learn with KOF 14 haven't changed significantly between certain places. There's a few things that you have to change for a lot of the top tier characters, but honestly, you could pick up the game 2 months later. I've actually played with El Gallo Negro, and he played the game a total of 5 times, and he could play consistently enough to go even with me, who's been playing the game consistently for a couple of months, within 3 or 4 games. It's not very different, and it's not something that's difficult to keep playing. I think that as long as you've gotten the fundamentals down, you should be able to play any other game and still be able to play KOF competently.
Regarding the price point, the price right now, that's a big commitment though, man. You look at the price and you're like, all right, should I like really spend this amount versus another game and it's much less?
Yeah.
Like,
especially if you want the DLC and stuff, the DLC characters, if you're interested in them. As far as I checked, are you able to buy the DLC characters individually? Because I don't think they offered that the last I checked when it was released anyway.
You could on PSN.
Yeah.
It might not be the case with Steam anymore. I think it might have been something earlier. Oh. Katy Perry says yes. Okay. Steam has the pack.
Yeah.
Okay, as a pack. Okay, so that's still that way, and like I think that together was like $70 or something. At least on release, I think with the $20 off, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Or 20% off, whatever. But a lot of people miss that mark, like before the paychecks or whatever, and it really is nowadays, especially. It really is a lot of money. It's a big investment in a game that you might, play some people might be very casual about it. Like you said, it might be easy for them to pick up, but it's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad there's like sales on PSN, but on Steam, man, I'm just like, you have to really love the game if you want to drop all that amounts of money, and you better stick with it too.
You have to like, people want to get their money's worth, especially with fighting games, because I mean, you do get a lot of time out of fighting games, but that's if you like it.
Yeah, and,
you know,
you do get a lot of content with the game on Steam too. I mean, you get the little art book, you get the characters. You know, if you buy the pack, you get the DLCs and stuff. You know, and the game has pretty good net play. You know, we all tested that out from the tournament. I think you get your money's worth, but like, I don't know. I still think like that's just you really have to just like go in if you.
I think it's just hard to find.
SNK does need that money though.
Yeah.
I think it's just hard to find somebody to play with. If you're like interested in the game and let's say you don't have or you don't know about your local community or anything about KOF, like why are you gonna buy the game if you don't know or if you have nobody to play with? And then if you, most of the people like you say like try rank, and if they try rank and then they don't see anybody, then why are they gonna bother playing? They're just gonna play by themselves. Like that's an issue of some small issue that I can think of.
What was you gonna say, Esteban?
About to say, on top of what he was saying, if you end up spending the money spent, like you're not getting that money back either.
Yeah.
Like sure, you could sell the game,
yeah,
but you still spent money on DLC.
Katy Perry said we do not play on rank. We do not play on rank. Yes, we, like us, but a new player, they don't know that. They just hop on rank and then like they see nobody or they play like a really bad connection, like you know, because a lot of people that play Street Fighter, they just hop on rank all day and play. You know, that's why there's like Excellent Adventures, you know, the Gutek show, or you know, formerly was, but yeah, like a lot of new players, they don't know that like the free match is more populated than ranked, you know. Well, all right, you know what? Why don't we talk about the whole thing about the future of 14 and then the possibility of 15? So everybody kind of seen the, you know, the statements from the IGN, was it Latin America article where Oda said some things like he wasn't sure about 14. So how do y'all feel about that, man? Like, do y'all think this game has like a lot more steam? Like, I mean, like, no pun intended, but like, like, do y'all really think they should just give up so early on 14, just to like develop these other games or something, or like what's everybody's thoughts on like what he said about, you know, discontinuing 14? And I'm gonna pick people because I know everybody's gonna try to like jump in. So okay, how do you feel about that?
I've got like a couple of feelings on it. First of all, I don't mind if they're already thinking about 15 and beginning and starting to plan that, because this was an annual game. Like, there used to be a release every year for how many years? I mean,
yeah,
it's not that crazy, even though like the ecosystem's very different. My main concern is it certainly doesn't sound like it's the next game for SNK. They seem like they want to do some other franchises before they come back to KOF.
Yeah.
And with that, the one thing I don't want to see is us becoming the NRS community, where we go to whatever this company puts out game after game instead of the particular title. Where is everybody going to drop KOF for a new Sam show or a new Garo or something? I think KOF deserves more than that, and I hope it doesn't end up that way. But I do think there's a risk of it happening,
Hmm.
where it ends up kind of competing with itself. And especially, it doesn't seem like SNK has the largest development pool of people to pull from. So if they're not able to work on projects concurrently and support them at the same time, I think it's going to be really easy to fall into that.
Okay. Verica, what do you think about that? Like after you read and saw like Oda being uncertain about 14.
I always think that personally. I think it's too early to give up on a game like so fast after just a year. But I mean, I guess if they're working on it by the time it comes out and everything, it'll be what, maybe 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And what was the span between 13 and 14? Like, how many years between were there?
That was almost like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
4 or 5
Maybe
years?
even more, yo. Like it.
No, if you include arcade, add another like what, year or two?
Oh God.
Okay.
We was riding so hard, man. We was waiting.
That game's good though. Okay, I'll stop.
Like, I don't know. I don't have any experience with like previous KOFs and like how much they've put into the games before this has ever happened. Has this ever happened before? Like with other KOFs, where they're planning on just releasing a whole new one really quickly?
Well, yeah. Well, kind of going back to what Elkidori said, like they were releasing KOF titles almost like yearly. You know.
Oh, okay.
And I guess,
think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think what would be better maybe than KOF 15 is maybe like a complete revamp of 14. Like I guess like I think Street Fighter does that where they completely have like new. I'm not sure if there's seasons, but like Street Fighter Ultra and all those and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe something like that, like a complete revamp of 14, rather than a 15 already.
Okay. Esteban, how do you feel about that?
Well, personally, I mean, I was originally under the opinion because I would rather see a new game, only because I mean I'm biased. I'll admit it. You know, I still don't really like 14 that much. I don't think it's a terrible game by any means, but I'm still not a fan of it, and I would like to see. I feel like this game, like it doesn't feel like a beta like 12 did, but this game was a pretty good jumping off point to what they could do with future games. So I would like to see them already have like the polish that they had towards the end of this game, because it got polished a lot within the past year. A lot has grown on this game, and they fixed a lot of stuff they were having issues with compared to graphics and the actual feel of the game. But I didn't even think about the possibility of our scene going from King of Fighters scene to SNK scene, where they come out with, you know, a new Garo. Then if everybody quit KOF just to play Garo or the next Samurai Showdown, like Elkie said, I didn't even think about that one. That kind of put a wrench in that one. If you just ask me what I would specifically want, at this point, I would like to see, if they do decide to come out with other games, I would like to see them having at least something still happening with KOF 14. I don't know what that would be. It doesn't necessarily have to be developed. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be content added to the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't want to see the support go away, because the other problem with NRS is that not just the community ditches the last game, but the company ditches the last game. And that's something I don't want to see happen. Because we've, as a community, most of us on this call played 13 throughout the entire lifetime of 13, if not most of it. You know, and that was without developer support. But if they also didn't come out with a new game either.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want to see this scene turn that way either, because that would be really disappointing. Because then if you end up finding a game you like, then it just, in the next year or two, it's gone now. And that would really suck. So I would like to see them still, if they're going to come out with like a new Garo, a new Samurai Showdown, stuff like that before KOF 15, then I would like to see support still for 14 to some capacity.
Okay. Well, you know what? Why don't we talk about that? So, what would y'all like to see, like a 3.0 in between, like now and like possibly, like 15, maybe coming out maybe 2 years, like. And when would y'all see it? Like, do y'all want to see it like before the year is up, maybe next year? Because like, I mean, hearing the whole uncertainty of like 14 losing support is like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to like ride 2.01 out until the next like game, or or next KOF or whatever they're gonna do, maybe Sam Show or Goro 2. So, what would y'all want to see? Obviously, from like another like DLC, and actually, I'm kind of not surprised, but I was kind of hoping there would be some sort of like announcement from SNK about this. I mean, besides there's this like anniversary edition that's released in Europe for it, but I don't know. So, question is, what would y'all like to see as far as like another like update for 14 before 15?
I feel like before they release any more DLC, that they should like buff or fix the current DLC of like Yamazaki, Rock, and Sun Whip, because I feel like they're almost non-existent.
Okay.
They are.
Yeah.
I don't think they should do it anytime soon. I think they should wait a little bit longer, because there's so many new games coming out that whatever they patch,
Gonna get out hyped.
yeah, it's gonna get overhyped by like Dragon Ball Z. And,
Ooh, yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
That would be it. That would
Maybe next summer? I don't know if anything's coming out next summer.
As of right now, the only thing game-wise that's coming out that doesn't have like a planned release date or like something in the summertime is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Is the only thing that I know of that doesn't have like any kind of time frame. Because I know with Dragon Ball Fighters, that's coming out early 2018. I think actually they said February.
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So like if they said, if like let's say like Alex said, let's say they wanted to do summer, that wouldn't. I don't think it would really mess up anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That feels like a long wait next summer.
I know that seems like forever. Pedro, what do you think about all this, man? This whole talk about like stopping support for 14,
Like I mean, I think we should support KOF 14. I mean, it's the current game. I mean, if they do release a new game, I mean, you can play both. Why not? So
yeah.
I don't see a reason why you would want to stop supporting a game that you like just because, a new game just came out.
Oh, well, I think we're talking about development. Like, there's, like, there's a lot of uncertainty on the development of 14 as far as, like, updates and...
As them keeping updating it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, we don't know about that.
Yeah.
There was an article about it, but...
yeah.
Where he was talking about that. I don't know. I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, it's if they decide to stop making updates on this game, then it's gonna feel like 13. It's eventually gonna die. So, I mean, it's just the way the games go. Especially with KOF, the fan base is not as big as other games, so the lifespan is a lot, smaller.
Yeah. All right. Any thoughts on this, Burly Girly?
My experience with KOF 14 is limited. I still need to play more of it. Most people that I play with, both around my area as well as online groups and stuff, we play a lot of Get Together. But I think what can open up for SNK, in terms of the future for King of Fighters 14 and 15, as well as the new games that they're mentioning, they could, I feel, What am I looking for here? Words. It's like 12 a.m. Gosh golly gee willikers. It's. I do feel like 14 is falling a little flat. We've been talking about that for like an hour now. Support would be nice, but I also would like to see SNK try something completely new. It might not be in their place right now in terms of trying to get themselves back into the game, back into the spotlight of things, but I feel like with the Arca game coming out, well, that's something familiar, but it's like introducing a lot of unique and new mechanics.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Probably something way down the line that they could do is come out with a completely new game, because I feel like they could really try some, like, just another sort of thing in between before 15 where they can really just experiment without the brand attached to it, but it might, I mean, at the same time, it's beneficial to keep with the brand, to keep with Katy Perry in the chat is like, someone donate words. Please, donate words to me. Just throw random words into the chat, and I'll just try to make sentences out of them, or puns. I feel like what they can do is that they can continue supporting 14. Yeah. Maybe 1 or 2 more patches. I'm not too technical with fighting games. I'm more of visual artist sort of appreciator. Kind of aspect. Not to mention I don't have a very close local scene. Yeah. It's 2 hours away from me. But what I feel like could be beneficial is if they try something new in between 14 and 15. I feel like with all the games that they have and how creative each and every one of them are and how cool all the mechanics that they come up with, they could try something new. They could try a completely new cast of characters and just sort of, you know, just go wild with it and just sort of like experiment more with 3D modeling and try to get a feel for how they want to do things for the future. Just sort of like as, I mean, we could do like a Ultra Edition or whatever you want to call it for 14. Update some things, freshen some things in the meanwhile. They could do that too, to just sort of like try new things. To just try to like, you know, practice more in terms of 3D modeling and the textures and the lighting and stuff. Because they do have a very small team when it comes to their modeling and their visuals and stuff like that. For right now, I think somebody was talking about it. I think it might have. I don't want to name any names because I don't want to like call somebody out and then put out misinformation by accident. I think somebody mentioned that they only had 7 to 8 people on their team for models.
Ooh.
Which sounds like suffering.
Yeah.
So it's they did have. I mean, in the beginning, we were really pushing that like 14 does have a mix of both veterans and new people. They're taking a chance on a lot of new things. Because SNK, at the end of the day, they're all about challenging themselves. They don't feel satisfied unless they're challenging themselves. And that's a big thing for them. And I feel like if they take a chance on like a new game in between, it might end up good for them. Because I have a lot of faith in their character design, especially for just having characters that are very iconic.
Yeah.
But also very realistic. Like, you find that a lot of games, things like BlazBlue, kind of suffer from outfit first, character personality afterwards. Like, their designs do not tell you much about their characters. For King of Fighters, for SNK, their character, you can find out a lot about a character by how they dress, and they just dress so naturally. Like, it's just really easy to read, and it's really, like, they're really, you know, them, you know?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things on the side, what Shinkiro does, is that he draws these domestic situations with all these characters, and you can just see them wearing these different clothes, and you can just understand their kind of background, and that just flows so beautifully with King of Fighters. That's like a big thing that a lot of art communities, a lot of artists that just sort of look at fighting games from afar. Some of them don't really touch them because, you know, they're hard. They take a lot of time, and artists don't really have a lot of time to invest in video games, just because of art as a nature, and balance. So, you know, that's what a lot of people find about King of Fighters, find appealing about it, is that everybody's very... You can find out a lot about a character by their design, and all of it's very natural, you know? All of it's very natural feeling.
Okay. All right, well said. All right, so one of the last questions I kind of wanted to share with everyone before we get up out of here is... So, like, what should we, like, I know I kind of touched upon this a little earlier, but what we need to do now to just, like, keep the morale up and before we can just, you know, not let this game kind of fall to the wayside. Because, what I'll say is that I think, you know, as good as online is, it's great. We need to take advantage of it more. You know, still doing, you know, like online events of many different kinds, either be party battle mode or the tournaments, and having, you know, little incentives and stuff for that. I think that'll help quite a bit. Streaming as much as we can, I feel, even to a point where just having, like, you know, one person, you know, stream a day, and then we have like some sort of like rotation or something like that, just to keep the game is, you know, visible as it can be. Offline is you know, kind of a little toss up. I feel, you know, just bringing the game out as much as you can, because I mean, I understand that people are a little distracted, you know what I'm saying, they just want to, you know, play everything under the sun, and then there's no kind of like commitment. But I mean, as long as, you know, people are, you know, just even just playing casuals, you know, that can kind of like help, you know, even at a tournament, you know, just making sure that the game is still kind of in people's minds and hearts. But I want to know from y'all, like, what do y'all think we should just do to just keep, you know, this game as visible as it can be?
I think one of the things maybe that they need to do more is try to keep it more up in the tournament scene. Like, I know Javale was already trying to throw it out of C Otaku because of the low entrance rates that it had at CEO, and I feel like that's just going to throw it under the radar even more if they're throwing it out of majors already.
That's very true. I think, you know, at this point, I don't really know if there's anything, like, again, not that I can think of. As of right now, I don't know if there's really any steps we could necessarily take that we could just tell people, hey, go travel to more tournaments, because that's a big investment.
Yeah,
but I do agree, though, with Desmond that on it, like, I think if we also try to broadcast these online events more, that would be something that would also help to see that people play, and maybe would in turn bring back attendance. I mean, so like Webster, for example, I get in I get in an argument with him almost every time he posts. But
I think yeah, that's all the time with that.
Is that this dude posts lobbies.
Yeah.
And he streams the lobbies, not just him playing, but of everybody playing.
Yeah,
and I think that's huge.
Yeah, no, that's what
nobody else is doing it.
Yeah, no, what he's doing is actually very, very good, and what a lot of other people need to do. You know, like, I praise him all the time for that. I mean, yeah, like we kind of like, you know, get into it. Or
don't ask him to balance a game, but
yeah, but like, you know,
but when it comes to what you can do to support a team, though, it's fantastic. But it's broadcasting. I think, you know, it doesn't take anything to join an online tournament. Like, I rarely will join an online tournament, only because I get to the point where I'm throwing arcade sticks, possibly. I don't do well in online setting, but at the same time, a lot of people do. And if we can get the online ones more, like, just more visible, that would be a really good way to do it. because like I said, when it comes to the offline tournament scene, it's not happening. Not yet. I don't see it. But maybe with more online exposure, maybe you'll in turn make more offline exposure.
Yeah, we might have to just like start back from like ground zero, you know, and
introduce people to the game.
Yeah,
either that or what we do. The other thing we could do while we still support and enjoy whatever game that is out, like right now KOF 14. But the biggest thing I think we need to do is I also think that it's just a lot less overall being done compared to 13, like community-wise. Because there was always something being done by the community towards the end of that game's lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something we can carry on to whatever the next games are while still supporting, like how Pedro said, still supporting KOF, even with a new SNK game out too. So
what about all those players that are just casual players? Like, how do we get those guys to actually start participating
you're not
more?
going. In my experience, you're flat out not going to.
Yeah.
Only because casual players, as much as they may not think about it, and as much as you may not think about it, they have an ego they want to protect, and so they don't want to lose. That's just all there really is to
I don't
it.
think anyone really wants to lose.
Well, I mean, even they don't necessarily have a reason to win. Like, I felt this way when I was playing Guilty Gear before I stopped playing the game at all. I would still go to tournaments, and when I would lose to a guy who's been playing the game, it would be a close loss. I'd be like, dang, this sucks, because I know if I just played more, I could have beat that guy.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to play more. The casual player is going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Well, to me, like when it comes to casual and competitive, like I don't think of it as like too much like a group of people. You know what I'm saying? It's more like your own personal life. I would say not event, but like it kind of depends on where you're at in life currently. Like, do you want to spend this amount of time practicing? Like any one of us can go to casual like tomorrow, and then the next day we can go back to competitive. Like that's what it is to me. You know what I'm saying? Like all of us was all like casual at first, right? Like we didn't like come out the womb being competitive and fighting games. It just kind of grew from us playing with like a brother or sister or something like that, and struggling to do Hadouken to like going to tournaments, and then that can go right back because like we know so many people that have been going to tournaments for years, and like where they're at now, they don't even play fighting games that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? Is
this like that's how I kind of feel about the whole like casual competitive thing. It depends on like your interest in the current moment.
I would like to say that there are parts of Esteban's opinion that I do agree with, but there are a lot of parts of it that I don't agree with.
That's fine.
I respectfully disagree simply because it's more complicated than that. I do understand that there are a lot of people that don't like to lose, but it also has a lot to do with the community that they're losing to. There are hundreds of people that lose in Street Fighter V all the time, but they still have a consistent number of players, and that makes you wonder why. There are a lot of other factors that keep people from being competitive, while there are a lot of factors that keep people competitive. And we have some data to support that. Anyway, I'll just cut it there.
Go ahead.
I do okay when I go to a major, and I get bopped at my local. And a big reason for that is that I am the only player from the local that goes to majors for one reason or another. A couple of guys they have a wife and kids. Some of them are just too tied down for work to be away for 3 days in a row. One of them is just too young. Mm-hmm. We do have a young KOF player, like sub 18, and he's better than I am. But I am like one of the bottom 3 players at Xanadu, but I am the one that travels. So I end up kind of being the representative for them. So they get frustrated with me because I'm like their avatar that they send out. So anytime I drop something, it's like I dropped it for the entire local. But in a year or two, that younger guy is going to be finally being able to break out, and he says, I'm going to go to majors as soon as I can. As soon as I have a car and I have the money, I'm going. So honestly, about that time, I'm probably going to be winding down going to majors at all anyway, because I'm going to be turning 35.
Yeah, I don't think like everyone's going to be going to majors like forever, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're going to be...
Unless you're Alex Avaya.
More thoughts I have. I mean, all right, we're going to wrap up pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, I think like the game here in USA, I mean, it's like compared to Street Fighter and the other titles, it's always going to be put in its place. You know, Street Fighter just always had a bigger history here compared to, you know, other countries, you know, had, you know, different histories in certain games because of like promotion and stuff like that. But I think this game, I mean, it will always kind of be like how it is, you know, now, unless like someone went into a time machine and just like completely like erase Street Fighter or something like that from existence, you know. But I feel like we can use that to our advantage. Like we can kind of create a more like tight-knit, more solidified community, you know, and then just kind of pull whoever is interested from there, you know. So yeah, like I that's what I personally feel, because I've been playing these games, these KOF games for a while, and it's like, yeah, Street Fighter is always going to be the, you know, the Don Dada of all fighting games here in USA, and like we're always going to get the little refugees and stuff that will, you know, they're tired of it and stuff like that. So
I think one of the main things that we, as a community, we should kind of do is just fully embrace that reputation that this is a hard game. Even though 14 itself is not particularly hard, but the series has that rep. And you, particularly like with a younger player, like we have a few disadvantages as far as appealing to them, but a lot of them just have that, they have an ego that maybe 10, 15 years later will kind of be brought down, but it can be appealed to with a challenge. And said, okay, are you good enough to be able to play this game? And, you know, like the fact, like Tokido started off as a KOF player and then just stepped directly over into Street Fighter and did great. Whoever has done the opposite. It's I say embrace it. Just, you know what, we are hard. We are that next level of competition as far as if you want to be able to. You want to show what you can do?
What? You making it sound like we're like new types or something, man.
He does have a good point though, because I'm actually thinking of I'm trying to think of players who solely played another game, hopped over to KOF, and actually did work. And I can't think of any. Generally, they have like a past KOF background. I guess Chris G. I guess.
Chris G does fine at a
U.S. level.
Yeah, at a U.S. level.
But like Tokido, though, I mean, he won 13 tournaments.
I never knew Tokido was a KOF player till like a month ago.
Right. It's true.
And now he's Street Fighter World Champion.
I'm just reading the chat. Yo, I wanted to highlight something Dynabuster said. I'm honestly not sure how to get peeps into KOF. The thing about KOF, I don't think you should be really trying to like convert people, man. I mean, we ain't Jehovah's Witnesses, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to.
Oh, dude, that hurts.
Like, you know, we just have to kind of just take whoever's kind of interested, man. Like, if you really into KOF, then you'll want to really play it. I think one thing that you can always just try to do is just like, you know, if you're on Facebook or on Twitter, man, just share, man, as much as the game as possible. You know, to people that are on your friends list and that, you know, that you play the game. And if they're interested, let them be interested. But I don't think we should, like, try to, you know, knock on people's doors and stuff like that. What you was going to say?
No, I was going to say push it.
Yeah, I mean...
No, but...
Go ahead.
Oh, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Go ahead.
I think you should just keep doing what you're doing, like, keep hosting events. Maybe more often if it's possible. I know people are busy sometimes, but that helps. Even if it's maybe one new player that joins, or especially what they mentioned earlier, you guys mentioned earlier, is that the whole broadcasting, that's so important. Like, I go into Twitch, I go look up, like, I don't know, maybe who's streaming KOF. I see like two people streaming KOF and there's like one viewer. I go check out like a game that's maybe like 10 years old, like I don't know, any other game like Super Mario 64 or something. They have like 1,000 viewers on one person. It's just like basically the availability online. So yeah, if you're a streamer, maybe. If you're popular or something and you see like maybe there's this interesting KOF stream, maybe try it. I don't know, retweeting their streams or hosting them or whatever. It's just getting out that there's players online or that there's content available for new players.
I want to highlight something Dynabuster also said. I also really want to stream KOF, even though I'm not very good, and just share info in the chat. Yeah, see, the whole thing about not being very good, like that, I don't think that matters too much, man. Like, as long as you're having fun playing a game, that gets people into it too. You know, that's why we do party battle mode. You know,
I would totally stream KOF if I had the internet. Like, I'm not very good, but I mean, if I had the means to do it, the internet, I totally would.
And plus, if you like not very good or whatever, I think it's a little more relatable. I guess, you know, because people, I want to.
It's kind of like a get good with me type video.
Yeah,
get better with me.
It would be nice if we had a few more outlandish personalities, like nothing super over the top. But just a few more personalities in this scene that people could like enjoy watching, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I remember watching like Maximilian, you know, play this game, and he doesn't stream it very often, and he gets like thousands of people watching his stream. But I always think like, how many of these people are actually gonna pick the game up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I'm just trying to think like the percentage. Like, even if we did have like a you know, personality or something like that. Like, how many of those people are actually going to actually play the game, even just like for fun? I mean, you know, like how many people are actually going to buy the game? And
you might not play it, but it's still getting the publicity out there, which is better than nothing.
Yeah, that's where I think Game Goons is just that they put so much on their back as far as presenting this game to people, and I think they do an excellent job of it. And if we just had more streams and stuff to complement what they're already doing, I think it would go a long way.
Okay. All right. So I think what we should do is try to stream this game more on PC and on PS4, because I know on PC, like, this is a whole different podcast, but like on PC, like, any given day or certain amount of time at night, you just see hundreds of like these lobbies from different countries, and you'll see one from USA, whereas more of the USA players play on PS4. Yeah, we definitely need to stream more. I would say at times where people play, not at times where people are at school or work or anything like that. I do think there's like a little like sweet spot, maybe like late afternoon, evening, where people can stream. We could do it every night. Probably just have people just alternate or something like that. Like one person do Monday, another person do Tuesday, another person do Wednesday. You don't have to pull like a like an all-nighter or anything like that. Damn, what happened to Cortis Veritas? He used to stream like 24 hours.
All the time.
Yeah.
Always.
The open lobby.
Yeah. Oh wait, I know what happened. Tekken. he was telling me that.
Same thing with juice box.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like new games just distract people. They're like,
Tekken was too good.
yeah. But I guess for the people that are like hardcore, we just gotta take advantage of that. So
did that guy ever play Cortis Veritas? I never saw him play.
He plays sometimes.
Yeah, once or twice I played him.
I always just saw him hosting, but I never saw him play.
Yeah, I think what we have to do, we have to kind of have someone has to take his place. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be relying on one person. Yeah. You know. What was you gonna say, Elkie?
And I think we keep a heads up for when we do see a price drop on Steam.
Yeah. Yes.
They do a sale. That's always an influx of people playing, and if they're playing, they're also watching. And if we could just concentrate and just make a major effort, like when that happens, to also be streaming and also be active.
Yes.
To go ahead and just ride that tide as much as we can.
Yeah. All right. Next to broadcasting the game more, and then like there's all the intricacies in that, like having people like do commentary, like using Discord to talk and stuff like that. I remember we used to do that back in the day. Just have like a party, like voice chat of whenever we're streaming KOF to just keep it lively, and because some people they stream their lobbies and it's just like kind of boring. It has to be it has to be engaging. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to actually talk to the people and make them feel a certain way about watching. Like it can't just be just pure gameplay. That gets a little boring unless like you're watching like top people play. But if it's just like regular people playing, like we have to have regular people engaging with other regular people too. So and also quality and stuff like that, and the times that you stream and stuff like that. But the biggest thing, this goes into what Reiki was saying, is that the information has to be stepped up. Like I've been trying my best to make sure that the Dream Cancel wiki is up. I appreciate people making as many videos, tutorials as they can, making their own little write-ups. That way we can just put things together. Helping out with the King of Data app, making sure that there's information in there, just kind of like pulling together all our resources. That way, whenever we get a new player, they're quitting the game because, oh my God, like I went to Whip's wiki page and there's like nothing on it, like not even like a picture or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that can kind of suck a little bit. You're looking for information and you can't find it because because the people just aren't really like contributing information. So we definitely have to, next to streaming, we definitely have to get the information up, man. For those people that are like helping with the wiki, thank you very much. Even with the the hitbox viewer, thank you. Even if it's something small as like fixing typos, like that helps a lot. But yeah, we definitely have to make sure the information is accurate and that it's plentiful. That way, people can stick with it, as much as they can. That way, there's no I would say sparseness with on how to play the game. Just like Reiki said, you can just teach yourself because people are the game, like it is like it's difficult because it's a more expanded version of what fighters usually are. You know what I'm saying? It has more options, more characters. You're playing with 3 characters. You know, it's a bigger game. You know. Crashman said, "What info are we missing ultimately from the KOF public guides?" There are pages that don't have any information on them at all. There are some that do and some that don't. There is an article on Dream Cancel that says, you know, public open submissions. I can probably post it up in the chat. But yeah, there are some characters that don't have any information at all. Not even like normals. Like it can get pretty bad. But as long as we can try to make sure that we fill out this information as much as we can at least like have some of the new players hang on, you know, and they can kind of like teach themselves how to play, as well as making sure the information is correct. That way there isn't any misinformation. 'Cause that's one thing that was kind of a stigma, is that if the information is wrong, then like what's the point, you know? But people have to contribute to make sure that it's correct. All right, so let's get up out here. Any other thoughts on what we just expressed in the past 10 minutes regarding trying to keep the game's visibility up? Any other like stray ideas before we log off? Anybody?
Not that I can think of.
Nope.
I think we're good.
Okay. Pedro, any thoughts?
What's up, man?
I'm
kind of busy now.
No. I understand. No. We were just talking about ways to kind of keep the game visible and miss all the distractions. I said more broadcasting and more submissions and contributions of information. Any thoughts from your end?
I think just, you know, people need to stream more. There's not a lot of streamers out there, especially now since like Tekken came out and it killed KOF a little bit. I think it took away a couple of streamers as well. The biggest streamer was Juicebox.
Yeah, Juicebox, and
he's not streaming anymore.
Yeah, that and Quartus. Even though Quartus didn't have the numbers, like he had the consistency.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think people need to stream more. I mean, it doesn't take much to stream, honestly. I mean, you could do it with a decent laptop. Even not such a hardcore PC, you know. It's if you have a PS4 and you have a decent laptop, you can run it for 80p. It don't matter.
Yeah, or straight,
you know,
or straight from the PS4. I mean,
straight from the PS4. Yeah, you just have to buy. You just have to buy like a capture card, or straight from the PS4, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't look
you
too
just
good.
plug a mic up and a camera up too.
Yeah,
you'd have to cook up a camera or a mic at least, because you want to talk to people on the chat. You just don't want to make it all awkward like and all silent.
Yeah, that's why I was saying with Discord, man. I mean, you could just have like a voice chat party, you and some other people, if you're too shy to interact with people, you know.
There's also people need to make more content for the game. I guess there's not a lot of that. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's just a matter of doing it, man.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Crashman said Quartus Veritas is using another account to stream KOF. I'll try to ask him to stream more KOF once he has time. Okay. All right. Burly Girly, do you have any thoughts on how to keep the game visible?
I think all the points that have been made so far are pretty good. I don't think I have too much to add. Streaming is definitely a big thing. Most of what I can do personally is probably just draw more fan art. Try to stream some more of that. Of just constantly just cranking out more Yamasaki.
Let's say, is there a way that we could do a like not a frequent podcast, but a more frequent podcast?
Smaller chunks, like smaller podcasts, would be nice. It seems like every time Desmond employs me for one of these, it's like 4 hours long. Most podcasts are like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We
thing.
could do. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you say.
We could do something smaller, and we could also maybe do something every now and then where we have specific topics to talk about while some of us play, or something like a half art stream. We have an artist or whatever draw while we discuss things. Just sort of to have more visual stuff for people to just sort of look at, because like what people do a lot about podcasts, like the difference between like the streaming thing that we're doing right now and like a podcast is that usually when people are like doing podcast stuff, they're tuning in while they're doing other stuff. And I feel like for the streams, we can do something special aside from just having clips and stuff here and there. We could also just have drawing in between, or just playing and stuff a little bit quieter than usual. That kind of stuff could be pretty cool to do. Just to have more visual feedback in terms of the stream versions of these podcasts.
I'm down for that.
I feel like that could be a little more engaging.
Yeah, because like I've always thought of like, you know, ways to mix the kind of like competitiveness with the people that aren't competitive, you know? Or, you know, the people that are into more of like the lore and the art work of the game, whereas there's people that are more into the gameplay. So yeah, I think we should definitely like build upon mixing that. I think that might help. Oh yeah, regarding what you said about the podcast, for a while I did experiment with just having very short, like little small, not even like podcasts, but just us talking about one like topic through Discord, and they were like very short. They were almost like 10 to like 15 to 20 minutes like long of us like talking about like just one thing.
Yeah.
And like we did that with like, you know, like Kensu 77, and I think even like Deadly Rave Neo, like, you know what I'm saying, his little random thoughts or whatever. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, yeah, just having like more concentrated little podcasts. I remember we used to do this show like weekly, like every Wednesday, and I think we almost like ran out of like material or something like that. But I could try to like, yeah, we can definitely try to podcast a little bit more often. I'm
not necessarily saying just you. I just mean overall in general, because
more different people.
Yeah, because I will say this. When Injustice 1 was out, I played that game a lot. But the thing that got me into that game the most was the community, because there was like a few podcasts that were very enjoyable to listen to that they would just come out with like the YouTube video for later. And so I would just watch that. I very rarely was able to listen to it live.
Okay.
But the thing is though, that is nice is if you have the, like I was talking about earlier, the more personalities.
Yes.
That people can latch onto. And being in the US, we're not all top players. Like I think in this group right now, Pedro is the closest. So we're not all top players. So it's something that we're a bit easier to approach to as well. You know, that way we can possibly get more of the casual base into the more competitive base too. Just overall, just stuff I'm just thinking about. Like personally, anything I do because of the team I'm a part of and what I'm personally trying to do, it's not going to be able to be KOF centric because I'm a gamer. I'm not just a King of Fighters player. I also like to play other fighting games, and I like to play other games. Like one of these days, I swear I'm just going to lose my life for another week and just stream a full Persona 5 run to just talk to people. But it's still one of those things I just feel like if we can get our voices and possibly even faces a little bit more shown.
Yeah.
I'm not saying on this podcast. I just mean in general.
No, I mean, it's a good point. Who's showing their face right now? Nobody.
All right, I was gonna ask that because this is the first time I've been on here. All right, do you guys use webcam like on this or not.
Every time I catch a glimpse, I have a small like makeup mirror sitting in the corner of my desk for like facial references and stuff. Every time I peek over at that, I'm just making these weird fucking faces, and it's just like maybe I can just buy a webcam and take advantage of this somehow. Because every time I look, it's just the weirdest shit, and I'm like, why the hell am I making that face right now? What is happening?
No, I understand what you mean, like making it more personal by seeing the people that are actually playing. Because a lot of big streamers do that. You know, they have some people even have like the freaking camera bigger than the game screen. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to.
That's too much.
Yeah. Before we go, I wanted to highlight something. Question that Crashman126 said: as for more people streaming KOF, will it be possible for Dream Council to host more events within the weekday, like 2-3 times event in the week? People also appreciate consistent schedules for streaming KOF events. That's a good point. I think that would be very plausible and realistic if I get some help to do that. And within the weekday, I think that'll be dope too. Hopefully, you know, if we get the numbers, like if it's consistent, it'll be cool, because it'll kind of suck to have people like running events and then people just not really showing up. You know what I'm saying? That's a kind of the thing, is that because we're small, like it's really just like, if not that many people show, you see it like very obviously. So yeah, I'm down for that. 100%. I would need assistance in that field to make sure that would be a realistic venture to go into. I was even thinking of like something I said in the chat. I don't know. I was at work. I don't know. Maybe I was just in like a spontaneous mood. But I said like even having like a night where a group of us go on ranked and see if we can just like play ranked and like find just like some like random people to, you know, to play ranked with, just in like a 1 to 2 hour span or something like that, or having different kind of like events, maybe having like a birthday gauntlet or something like that, you know, someone's like birthday, and you know, and just having everybody just beat up on them online or something like that while we just make fun of them or something, or just like,
what is with you and gauntlets?
I don't know. or having like a new player gauntlet or something like that.
You're gonna scare people.
or just even like
scare people.
Even like 8 to 10 player like new player tournaments. Like if you're new to the game, we'll have like
there you go.
Like a like a small tournament, or you know, just doing more party battle modes or something like that, or you know.
Or no, we went from death matches in a cage to enjoyable bouncy house.
Yeah.
And concepts over here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, just something where like it's not just the same old like modes, you know, from time to time. Just like mixing things up a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying, making things a little more interesting, because like if the net play is good, it has good options, so like we should be
definitely
taking advantage of it. But yeah. All right, but yo, why don't we get up out of here? Let's throw some shout outs, and we could talk about kind of all these different concepts, you know, on Discord. So first, let's give Elkidori his the floor for shout outs.
Oh, somebody else go first.
Okay.
My first time on here.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Fine.
I'll see how you guys handle this.
Okay, Baraka, shout outs.
I'm a first timer.
Okay. All right.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Shout outs to everybody.
There we go.
All right. Beautiful. Pedro.
Excellent.
Pedro, shout outs.
I think everybody's covered.
I'm out.
That was me, Desmond. I just said it.
Damn. All right. I thought that was someone. All right. Burly Girly, shout outs.
Yamazaki's titties. Okay. Next person. I don't know
all right,
what to say. They're
It's-
what I'm here for.
All right, Esteban, did we try to shout outs?
Sure. Yeah, I got you. I'll be a little bit more serious about that.
Yeah.
Well, sort of after the first one. First off, James Jr. is not on the call, so I have to do this for him. Shout outs to all of our moms.
Yep.
We all got to be thankful. If it wasn't for them, we would not be on this earth.
Yep.
Shout outs just in general to all the KOF players that are still around, especially the ones like me who are, playing the game because it's King of Fighters, not necessarily, maybe not their favorite game, but they're still playing the game. I think they have a little bit more high regards because if you're still playing, that's great. Also, shout outs to the guys who are still extremely dedicated, who really enjoy the game. You guys, I'd like to see you guys do the more content because I think you guys would be the ones that would promote the game best. Shout outs to SNK for doing so much support with this game. They deserve like so many props for that. And then shout out to my local scene and Boss Battle Games, my new it's not a new meetup, but our meetup that we've been having. So, and shout outs to Malicious Tactical Gaming and Net Battles. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, what he said.
All right. Y'all ready, Elkie or
Yeah, I feel a little more confident now after all that.
All right. Yeah. I guess we should have gave like a little like shout outs primer or something like that, but
definitely had a strong start.
Shout outs to Kick Punch Block, especially Rage, who I still owe $50 to after losing that first of 10 at SummerJam after hours. Shout outs to JDR for doing better than me in the tournament. Shout outs to our Xanadu KOF scene. That's Amato 310, LeBro, Q, Steve H, that Matt guy that keeps showing up and I don't know his tag. And shout outs to anybody who shows up to their local and to majors.
All right. Alex XK shout outs.
No, I think everybody's covered with Pedro's shout outs there.
I'll just give shout outs to the Texas scene, like I guess Vicio and Sendo and all them up in Austin. Rylander, they're always helping me out a lot all the time and teaching me new things for KOF, so shout outs to them.
All right, great. All right, cool. Shout outs on my end. Just want shout outs to my local community. Shout outs to everybody on Discord. Big shout outs to all the KOF communities worldwide and different little pockets and I would say groups of KOF players in many different regions in USA. And I'm going to also go back to the promo and plugs real quick, just to let everyone know what's up and to remind people before we go. So you can get Dream Cancel t-shirts at dreamcancel.com/shop. Hang out with us in our Discord server. We have matchmaking and we talk about a lot of different things and all that, a lot of different personalities up there. Buy these nice games on Steam. Shouts to Kings of Colorado. Shouts to Rochinaji. Donate to Dream Cancel. You know what? I'm gonna see if we can open up a Patreon. I don't know if that makes any sense, but maybe we could open up a Patreon and just have people just donate monthly, $1 or $2 or something like that. Get the King of Data app on Android and your iPhone. Buy King of Fighters 14 on PS4 and on Steam. Shouts to Game Goons. Shouts to the King of Fighters Reddit, and also join their KOF server, Discord server. There's so many different ones that are out there. Party Battle Mode, next Party Battle Mode, TBA. Shouts to Kick Punch Block.
Yay!
Yep. Get B&Bs, B&B combos from the combo guide. You can find it in the King of Data app. And also with the Frame Data table. Take advantage of the esports program that SNK throws for King of Fighters 14. Remind yourself of the damage values for every character. For, just randomly watch the next episode of King of Fighters Destiny. Should be out tomorrow. We'll do little small pockets, little small like mini podcasts about the show, which I think will be cool. We can try that. I don't know if you're down for that, Burly Girly, because like I think
I'll just up for anything.
All right, cool. Because you was kicking the knowledge earlier about Destiny, which was appreciated. Shouts to people that went out to the con. Shouts to everyone that participated in the King of Fighters 14 Steam Edition online tournament that happened this past Sunday. Shouts to everyone that went out to SummerJam. And shouts to people that went to Furia Tica. These cosplayers are pretty dope. Go to Absolute Battle 8, August 25th to 27th. And go to See Otaku September 23rd to 24th. And that's about it. So this concludes another episode of the Dream Cancel podcast. My name is Desmond, the administrator of DreamCancel.com. And until next time, keep playing, keep learning, and have fun. Peace.